Welcome, one and all.
I thought we were getting like a music session from your Ed.
Yeah, well.
I was waiting for someone to pick it up, man.
No, hell no, I'm not singing.
Who here can sing other than you?
I don't feel like singing, I'm too hungover.
And whose fault is that?
That's my fault. But I'm mostly pissed about the anime titties.
Yeah, fucking free the anime titty. Real life nipple, that's fine. That covered. Anime nipple though. Kidding, by the way. Thurman, get over here. We have you and I are a fan of the anime titty more than most, I would say.
So live edited up right now on the stream. You'll see like a screen cap from Twitter. This is from an actual article that will be linked in the description of the video a bit later. This is from creators of various visual novels that were screwed over
basically,
by Steam.
they were emailed or like something. It was like you got like 30 days or something to like take down or like change your game or censor your game, taking it down, right? And it's like here it'd be one thing if they were like unilaterally getting rid of all lewd shit, and that'd also be, but it's even more bullshit because they're specifically targeting anime stuff. So what this feels like to me is it feels like Steam is run by fucking like some fucking Christian parents that are like, oh my god, what is this? I hear if you fap to cartoons, demons will come and get you. Like, it's like, why is it specifically cartoon boot? It's because it's different. It's because it's different and it scares them and they're like, what is this different thing? I don't understand this. Like, that's what it is. And it's fucking always people that don't, just, I don't know. It pisses me off. What do you think, Thurman?
It's one of those cases of where I said this in the chat. Oh, it's just like one of those cases where they're trying to if it ain't broke, don't fix it type deal. Like there's no reason to essentially try to censor or ban these games when there's a fucking rating system to begin with. That's what the rating system is for. There's no point putting in a warning there if you're just going to discard that and get it rid of anyway if people complain. The rating is there for a reason to warn you, hey, this has this in it. If you don't want your kid or if you don't like that, then you can just not buy the game. Don't just automatically try to take it off just because you don't like it. That's some bullshit mentality. That's some egoistic, I want to rule the world type bullshit because I don't like it. It's like that meme on that you see where the dude is talking to these two old women eating ice cream and he's like, I don't eat ice cream on Sundays, and the woman's like, okay, well, he's like, that you don't understand. Since I don't eat it, that means that you guys can't eat it either. That type of deal, and it's just fucking stupid.
Well, so my question is really like because the rating thing, everything you said there makes sense, but my question is like, why specifically, like, why do you think that it's like more anime stuff they're targeting? Is it just because it's different and they don't understand it, and therefore they think it's weird? Like, what do you think that is?
I mean, to be honest, I feel like it's just because honestly, it's not just anime stuff that show fucking titties. I mean, let's be real.
Exactly.
But I think it's targeting because Steam has it's like Steam has a lot of anime games on it, and a lot of anime games do tend to have anime titties. Surprising, I know, right? But I think it's just targeting like the demographic that seems to be gaining traction because we all know like every time a new genre coming up, there's always going to be controversy with that genre. So I think it's more in case of that. Because my issue is why visual novels though? Like visual novels are far from the norm of what you would see, especially since it's still technically a game, but I mean, it's easier to essentially like skip like a porn scene in a visual novel rather than like a porn scene in like a game, Like it's not like you're in The Witcher where like it's actual scenes like you fucking someone and like pressing A to thrust, like press O to like turn over, like it's not like that. It's just like
clearly he's never played Necopara.
it's just like a picture, and then
Well, I just get the vibe that it's because it's different, it weirds them out, and they think that somehow that's, you know what I mean? Like, I get the vibe of like, be a real man and jerk off to real titties. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like they're fucking trying to hate on like animes. It feels like they just think it's like weird, and like they want to like, I don't know. It feels very like discriminatory towards like anime shit to me. I don't know. Because like that was, so I watched, well, Lost Cause. Everyone, assuming most people here know Lost Cause YouTuber. That's
Yep.
what he was talking about. That's what the vibe he said he was getting, because it was like all anime games that was like getting this email.
Here's my issue with this, if I may. My issue with this is there's literally more nudity in games like The Witcher. There's more nudity in games like that Haiti. There's more nudity in games that aren't of the anime variety in general. Look at fucking God of War. There's a literal sex minigame in God of War games. But yet, none of those ever have been really affected by this. Okay,
It's more of the case of, because was Doki Doki ever hit at all?
What was that, Thurman?
Was Doki Doki Literature Club ever hit with this at all?
No, Doki Doki wasn't.
There's no sex in that.
But still, because
we just had somebody join the fucking Discord server in the middle of the podcast. That's the first.
Someone just joined the Discord?
Yeah.
We're so popular.
So it's just like
Anun, or however you say your username if you're watching the podcast. Welcome. I'll get your role really quick while these guys talk.
Thurman, so Thurman, it has nothing to do with it. They're not targeting visual novels. They are targeting with porn visual novels.
So it's essentially Arrow game, essentially.
Yes. But the weird thing is it's specifically like anime Arrow, because there's plenty of fucking nudity in like a bunch of other games. So that it seems to be visual novels with lewd shit in it, because like Honey Pop was targeted, Nekopara was targeted, shit like that, right?
Seke's games like Relord, there's a lot of games of that variety that got hit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not technically a fan of games like Honey Pop. I mean, I've bought it, played it, stuff like that, but it's not really my thing. I bought it just to see what the hell the talk was about, and it was a couple bucks. But that doesn't mean that they deserve to be censored.
Censorship can fuck off.
So that was the one thing that my major issue was with all of this. And this was a really heated topic in the fucking in the member chat as well. Like, it's
most things of this nature are a heated topic in the member chat, though.
Like Mutiny was another one, which was one I never even heard of. But it's really weird. Hopefully now that they've retracted this, they're going to realize, hey, maybe we shouldn't try to censor these, because we got so much backlash from trying to censor these fucking games even further, because a lot of these games had to literally dumb down the nudity, the themes, all of that, to even be on their actual marketplace. So it's really an odd thing for them to now move the goalposts even further. Like, now you have this new set of restrictions, and then what's to stop them from putting a new set of restrictions on more games, and even more games, and more games, and more games, and etc.
It's just the way they the way they I don't understand, like, what's the point of trying to censor this when essentially you already know, like, my whole point about this is why censor it when you know the censor, like, it's literally, there's so many precautions it takes to know that this game has nudity in it, the game has fucking in it. Like, it's just like, I don't know what Steam, I don't know what the whole thing is, but just like trying to ban this shit when the rating's already there. Like, who are you trying to ban this shit from? Like, do you not like tips? Like, is that a thing? Like, is tips in video game like a taboo? Like,
clearly not.
Yes. So here's what this reminds me of. I honestly assume, because it reminds me of how YouTube is like no porn, right? And the reason they do that is because if they didn't, if any website didn't have a no porn rule, it would become a porn website because that's how prevalent porn is. You know,
the
so,
internet is for porn.
Yeah, exactly. So like, what I assume they're trying to do is make it so like there's like it's not just like a wash of porn games. But my suggestion is have a separate fucking tab for porn games. That don't fucking block them. Just be like, and here's where you can find all of the fucking porn games. You know.
You have to enter like your date of birth into this. You have an age gate. That way you're legally covered on either way. Just like in a Discord, if you have an NSFW channel, you have an age gate. That way if anybody joins, you are covered. Just like
we put that on ours, I'm hoping.
Oh yeah, there's been an age gate on it.
Good.
Hell, even when I do an update, I have to click the age gate.
After I was like, there's someone in here that's underage.
Well,
we had ramble.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, they already like age gate like everything. Because if you go onto like the Steam Marketplace and you look at a game that's like 18 plus or rated M, it makes you put in your date of birth anyhow.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Look at Grand Theft Auto. You gotta enter your date of birth.
And I mean, that's just to look at it, if while you're shopping the marketplace.
Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, so it's not like that. Steam doesn't have that protocol like protect our ass bullshit. It's more that
they have the technology. They should probably use it more.
Yeah, it's odd that they chose to do shit like this, and hopefully they've learned their lesson. But there are other marketplaces for this, and what really shocked me is Justin and I were talking in the chat along with Thurman, and he was saying maybe they could go to like GOG or Origin or Uplay, and then
Origin would be the least likely.
Oh fuck yeah! Hashtag fuck EA. But no, not a day later, I got an email from GOG, and it's like visual novels are here. I'm like, well, I stand very much corrected.
I really think some jumped ship because they got a little scared, but in the end, Steam confirmed that they're pretty much okay. They're in the green with that whole visual novel stuff that's going on right now.
Yeah, but what paranoid me or made me paranoid, however you want to word it, it was like if this succeeded, what was to stop them from doing this to other games? And that's the scary part about this. If people become used to this kind of thing, there's no stopping, Steam from being like, oh, we don't like guns anymore. We're going to ban Call of Duty. We're going to ban, Battlefield. We're going to ban all that.
Censorship culture is the worst, and it will lead to fucking, I can't think of the word right now, but, totalitarianism, or just, you start censoring, and then it's a short step away from fucking burning books. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That sounds like a big leap, but you have no idea what that's how it happens. You know what I mean? People are start getting used to this censoring and this censoring. I say any information that's out there, no matter how controversial, it should be able to be out there.
Yep.
You cannot put a gag order on information, and especially you cannot put a gag order on porn, because that is one of the most basic human desires. And if you remember how the prohibition went when you fucking made alcohol illegal? Fucking good luck with porn.
Yeah.
Snuck it in.
One of my friends gave me a joking bit of advice. The two things that people will always love and you should always invest in is booze and porn. Those are the two surefire things to make money.
And healthcare.
You didn't want to go political.
No, I literally was not trying to go political.
I know.
Healthcare is we'll always need.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That saying that you just had about what you should invest in, my dad had the same saying, but he also had healthcare in there.
Yeah. Well, two are publicly traded. The other one's not really as publicly traded. So it was more like stock advice. Because said friend is into stock market. I'm like, what should I invest in? Just to see what he would say. He's like, booze and porn. I'm like, there's stock holdings for that?
Most likely.
Oh, well, apparently the 100 subscribers bit just actually got archived. That's awesome. But moving on, we do have a bit of E3 controversy. I talked about this a bit on my Azazel's Den, and let me actually start posting this up.
So was that a confirmed actual legit list, or was it actually fake?
There's no proof that it's real or fake anymore, and there really never is with things like this. But what I wanted to get was your guys' thoughts on this list.
So you're talking about the leak list for the what's coming up?
The somebody definitely got fucking fired list.
if that list is true, it will be the same issue that Smash had, because the humongous Smash roster leak that turned out to be actually true.
Mm-hmm.
If this is the case, somebody's getting fired instantly, because that's
what's the list now?
It's in E3 rumors. It's the there's no way some of this is real, but there's got to be some of this legit list, as I call it. Like, obviously, I don't picture a lot of this being a thing like Destiny on Microsoft stage.
Oh, that list, yeah.
Because they have that exclusivity order with, like, fucking Sony and all that. But
I would say, here, let me find it. Where is it, David? Where is E3?
There's a chance.
rumors.
If you scroll up a little bit on our server page, you'll find it. It's V3 rumors.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I see.
I'm looking at it.
Okay,
right
so now some of these I can kind of believe, but okay, so I'm just gonna go through the ones that I don't think that's true. I think the One Punch Man. See, the One Punch Man thing is kind of iffy to me. I just feel like Platinum Games, basically. I feel like Namco would probably make something like that, since Namco's like the main one who does like jump style video games. So since they have the license, but Platinum Games, I don't know. That's I'm kind of iffy on that. Rock Band. I thought Rock Band died a long time ago, especially doing a Michael Jackson tribute like years later.
Yeah, that one struck me as very weird. I mean, they just did release Rock Band 4 a couple years ago, and then the Rivals expansion, I think they announced it last year's E3, and it came out. But it's still a Michael Jackson tribute this late. That just seems like it would either be a shameless cash-in, or it would be a fake one.
Let's see here. I don't believe...
I hope Just Cause 4 is real.
Right? Hopefully it's not as glitchy as 3.
I mean, I just love fucking around Just Cause. Now, here's what needs to be real.
I really don't believe No Man's Sky is getting a sequel. I really don't believe that.
Here's what needs to be real for my buddy and this is Final Fantasy VIII announcement under the Final Fantasy remake shit. If they're gonna remake Final Fantasy VIII in the same like crazy HD shit as 7, my buddy Andrew would probably die of a heart attack, and then I'd have to resuscitate him so that he could experience it.
I really hope they remake Final Fantasy 3. That'd be great.
They won't.
They really need to.
What's not going to be real? World of Warcraft PS4 edition.
Honestly, I really don't think WoW is gonna get a PS4 edition.
WoW died in like 2013, 14-ish.
It's still popular. It's an MMO. They're still getting up.
It died. You remember when like there was Ozzy Osbourne commercials and shit?
Yeah.
The Mr. T Mohawk grenade.
Yeah, dude, I remember that was man, and then it just fell off the face of the planet.
The issue with Blizzard games is the fact that Blizzard games don't really die, because Blizzard doesn't really shut down their servers for any other games.
They don't die because they charge people. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
People are willing to play it. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. That's why they're coming out with a new expansion, in a few months.
Battle for Azeroth.
Oh yeah.
Like Diablo.
The death
4,
of artifacts.
Diablo 4, I don't know. So,
I kind of want Diablo 4.
So do I, but I mean, I feel like Blizzard would have announced that a long time ago. I feel like Blizzard would have announced that like on BlizzCon. I feel like I don't think that they would wait till like E3.
And Rising Phoenix is back in
for
there.
a console release though.
Yay.
If they were including a console release, they probably would have waited for E3 so they could get that out there, along with reminding people about, Battle for Azeroth.
Blizzard doesn't really console release until like a year after the PC gets like traction.
Not
that's
really
understandable,
true.
but not always the case.
All right, hey, pop quiz, Swan. You're the World of Warcraft guy. What year was World of Warcraft's peak in players?
If you were to listen to everybody else, they would probably tell you Wrath of the Lich King. I don't remember what year that was though.
Try to guess the year.
I think it was 2011.
Because I didn't start playing until like near the end of Mist of Pandaria.
Ooh.
So the absolute peak was October 2010.
Oh,
and
so was it BC?
Then, yes, a peak of
that's pretty interesting then.
Burning Crusade.
Peak of 12 million subscribers in October of 2010.
It's not bad, really.
And it's been dropping at an average of 10% every year since then.
Oh.
I mean, that's that'd be true of any game that has been alive as long as it has. So the numbers are always gonna dip a little, but then they rise a little, and then they dip.
So October 2010 it was 12 million. October 2015 it was 5.5 million.
Ooh,
that's a big hit.
Yeah.
15 wasn't that Warlords?
I just don't hear anything about it anymore. Is the problem? They need to get back in the limelight.
I think it died it started really declining during MOP, which is Mist of Pandaria. That was just, I didn't really like that.
I remember when World of Warcraft shit was on like the Mountain Dew can. Remember that?
Oh, yep.
It's honestly
we've talked about that before though too, Red.
We've reached off-topic levels. We're starting to talk about things we've already talked about.
You're human.
Well, no, I just thought it was funny that we actually I had mentioned that exact Mountain Dew because we were talking about like our favorite
Mountain Dew
flavors.
I'm only human after all. Don't blame the reuse.
We're not blaming you.
I know. I'm just saying.
It's just the issue with WoW is that WoW wasn't safe from the inevitable issue of what MMOs are. MMOs don't really last that long.
I mean,
dab on the haters. So much Rising Phoenix.
There's all do with an MMO,
but
so it's just kind of like so much expansions you can do, so much content you can add before a game just starts.
Yeah. I mean, I do give credit to WoW for making these expansions. They're not like bare bones expansions. These are full-blown expansions, but it's like you can only draw the attention of people for so long.
Exactly.
I mean, my attention died at Cataclysm.
They basically milked that cow for as long as it could be milked.
Yeah.
And Thurman, you have an excellent point, man. You can only do so much content. They're shutting down RuneScape Classic. Well, I read that. I'm like, that was still a thing.
Yeah, you'd be like, rise through your grave. Yo, where's RuneScape at, bro?
To play devil's advocate here, I do get like I said, give Justin. I do give them some credit because I mean, people are still playing it.
Yeah.
Just not enough. Like as long as the player base doesn't drop like a considerable amount, because 5 million is still a lot of people, regardless. Not as much as it used to, but it's still a lot of people. So people are still playing WoW. It's not like it's dead. It's not like it's like losing in popularity, like per se. Like technically,
I mean, how many other MMOs are still a thing?
What Thurman's saying there, it's the same thing that when Bleach dropped, because Bleach was like at a crazy popularity in its heyday, and then it dropped, and everyone was like, "Oh, Bleach is dead," and still in the top 10 volume sales.
Right.
Jeez.
I mean, Bleach to me just holds a bittersweet place in my heart.
Be still my dying heart.
Right? Be still not knowing everything that happened in the backdrop because I fucking rushed Kubo.
Which is sad, because there was a lot of good things that could have happened on that final arc.
Exactly.
We still don't know what happened to Urahara.
That's the one thing that still pisses me off. I fucking love Kisuke.
Okay, I have a question. Does anyone believe that Fortnite is the best game?
No.
I mean,
we pity you.
In the actual battle royale genre, I do say there's a lot more skill that's needed in it because you got to focus on not only just killing things, but you also have to focus on the building aspect of it as well.
I don't know. I just feel like Fortnite's really gimmicky. I mean, it just it serves the purpose of being one of those battle royale games, but the only thing that's living in that battle royale game is the building aspect, because whenever I watch Fortnite plays, usually the top 10 players like surviving usually are like incredible builders, and all you see them is just build these immaculate towers and just destroying them with rockets. It's just like Bob the Builder meets Fortnite over here.
Just like, oh, I just rocket jumped. Oh shit.
I never played Fortnite, but people claiming that Fortnite's the best game of this generation.
I don't know. I think people overhype the simplicity
they said the same thing with Overwatch. They said the same thing with Splatoon. Said the same thing with Killzone.
Yeah.
It's just like
people said Splatoon was the best game of this generation.
Yes.
Yep.
Bro, as a Splatoon fan, even I'll say that's stupid.
Yep, same here. I mean, I love Splatoon, but it's still definitely
generation.
Yeah.
Not...
I mean, all these games are good. It's just I feel like they're overhyped.
What counts as generation?
Yep.
Like generation of
probably within a console generation.
Not even console generation, just like generation of shooters for like that year. Like.
Okay. Well, I actually want that's a legitimate question. Switch, Xbox One, PS4. What do you guys think is the best game of this generation? So
what's the best console this generation?
PC.
No, not best console, best game.
Best game?
Best game that's come out in the past like 5 years, let's say.
Well, if you're a PlayStation fanboy, you're most likely gonna say God of War 4 for PS4.
Yeah, God of War is a really good game. So
yeah, I gotta say God of War is a really good one. Or Dad of Boy, or whatever you want to call it. Like, I really don't. I can't say for the Xbox side, like, and that's sad because I fucking love Xbox.
Are we talking exclusives or just games in general? Because I mean, to be honest, third party titles should be excluded.
Yeah, I mean,
if we're talking legit exclusives, then I haven't played God of War 4, but I mean, I would say that for Switch, I would say either Smash or Breath of the Wild or Mario Odyssey, to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, Smash isn't out, so.
Oh well,
for Switch, Breath of the Wild easy.
Either Odyssey or Breath of the Wild. For Xbox, if we're talking exclusives, we're not saying Halo 5 because Halo 5 was complete doggy shit. So I'd probably say Killer Instinct or Gears of War 4 if that was a good game. I don't know. I haven't played Gears of War 4. So
I wasn't a fan of Gears 4 simply because of how its fucking story ended. It's just like, oh, we're going to literally incorporate robots and cliffhanger all at once instead of like wrapping up a proper arc.
So personally, I would say Killer Instinct for Xbox One, since it's technically an exclusive because rare, PS4, I haven't played God of War 4, but if I were to say a game that I played, it's hard to know because I don't really have an exclusive. But I would say, to me personally, I'd say Ratchet and Clank, the reboot, because it's like my first time like actually like getting down and playing a Ratchet and Clank game, and I fucking love this game.
Kick 'em.
Thurman, it is not even close to the best Ratchet and Clank game.
Thank you.
Like honestly, as a person who's the first time to actually touch a Ratchet and Clank game, like to sit down and play it.
Play a good Ratchet and Clank game, please.
You poor uncultured swine.
Thank you.
That's why I'm
deadlocked up your
it's like
arsenal.
Pokemon Red and being like, oh my god, this is the best game ever for graphics.
Oh, shut up, Gen 1er.
That's why I really hope that Sony gets their dick out of their asses and or dildo out of their asses and does a Ratchet and Clank collection.
Why did you have to correct yourself? Either way, that's that's a weird statement.
Like, well, I mean, he's not
Oh,
wrong.
I'm sorry, I meant dildo.
He's not wrong. They've sat on the Ratchet and Clank license for the longest time and done jack dick with it, aside from the reboot and the god awful abomination of a movie. But
see, I really because
what Thurman likes the movie.
I do like the movie. I really because I don't know if the PS4 has play games because like I'm gonna because what I'm doing now is I'm trying to get into games I couldn't get into as a child. So
play the PS3 ones; they were good.
Exactly.
Because I'm really happy that the Jack and Daxter series is on PS4. So I'm gonna get that shit. Play that.
So you played Sly Cooper?
No, I haven't. I really hope. See
the Sly Cooper collection. That was my shit.
Oh, they have a. They have that.
There's a Sly Cooper collection for PS3.
Oh, my
He's
PS3
so fucking uncultured. It's pathetic.
You should be able to get it for PS4, can't you not? Like, isn't PS4 backwards compatible?
Fuck no, because
Things
Sony.
aren't backwards compatible anymore, Swan.
I thought there was like a patch that allowed you to do that.
Yeah, usually.
Remember to get the Xbox One.
Yeah.
Unless you're an Xbox guy, there's
so
no such thing as backwards
reasons
compatible.
to own Xbox number 23.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I own them all, so I don't really care.
That's why he's got a fucking terabyte of memory, guys. Like, fucking tons of terabytes. So he never runs out of space.
Dude, you have no idea.
Like 25% is like fucking hentai. No, I'm joking.
I mean, you wouldn't be wrong if you just said porn.
So, on a fighting game aspect, I want to talk about the Soul Calibur leak here, and this has to be fake. Like,
send it? Yes, I haven't seen it. Oh, wait.
Like,
The E3 rumor?
Yeah, the adding of Cloud, Tifa, and Sephiroth. I think that's total bullshit, to be honest.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time they've done exclusive characters, though, Thurman. Like,
the thing is though, like because the history of Soul Calibur is because they've always had at least like one or two. Like they had Kratos, there was Link, Heihachi, Spawn. Like Soul Calibur 5 had Ezio. Soul Calibur 4 had Yoda on Xbox, Darth Vader on PS3, and the Apprentice on either or. And then so it's just like them adding 3 Final Fantasy characters to try to essentially hype up Final Fantasy VII Remake, especially since they already have the dude from Witcher as a guest character in there already.
Yeah, that's the part that weirded me out. Like, are they doing this solely as a marketing tactic, or is this legit?
First question is, are they doing this at all?
Exactly. That's why I said, or is this legit? Like,
yeah.
I wouldn't put it past them to do something like this, especially with Square, having
I think that'd be pretty cool.
Having that little bit of leeway,
Andrew would fucking love. Again, I keep bringing up my Final Fantasy buddy Andrew. He'd fucking hype for that shit.
I mean, they would fit the games. Like people thought Noctis wouldn't fit in Tekken, and I guess he plays well.
Dude, if Link can fit into fucking Soul Calibur 2, anyone can fit.
Right.
Yeah.
He's a fucking butterfly net in that game.
It's just like people. It's like people. It's just. I'm just thinking like
people.
Like Cloud, Tifa, and Sephiroth. Like, I mean, so, to be completely honest, Soul Calibur doesn't really need the marketing because Soul Calibur 6 can stand on its own. That's how popular the game is. But
I got a noise complaint the minute they fucking announced that because I screamed so loud. Like I've never been that hyped for a fighting game in years because
I wish I didn't suck at them.
Soul Calibur was my shit. So
I used to be good at Soul Calibur.
Once they announced this, I was screaming like a fucking banshee. It was the most glorious thing.
It's like a chain reaction. Tekken comes first and Soul Calibur comes after.
It's sadly true. I like my Tekken, but I fucking love my Soul Calibur, man. And
Yeah,
Tekken 7 was dog shit to me.
I played Soul Calibur when I was a kid. Soul Calibur is actually a really fun game. It's very unique in the sense of it doesn't really have a rivalry, because like every fighting game has like a rivalry. It's like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Guilty Gear Blaze Blue, Mortal Kombat Raging Blood, Killer Instinct, Mortal Kombat, a lot of Mortal Kombat rivalries I know. Darkstalkers, Killer Instinct. There's always rivalry, like Tekken of Dead or Alive before Tekken just destroyed Dead or Alive, and it's just like Soul Calibur never really.
Dead or Alive destroyed Dead or Alive.
Anime Tiddies.
Like the only reason you
Norman, that was a question. If you don't answer, I think that am I coming through? Hello.
Yeah, I heard you.
Okay, well, I just thought it was interesting that the term or the concept of anime titties come back into the conversation. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, it really is.
Full circle. Podcast ends now.
No.
So, the only really rivalry that you could argue that Soul Calibur ever had, it was like you could say the what's that fucking Samurai Showdown. Although Samurai Showdown has kind of deteriorated since SNK has been bought by the Chinese company. So
yep.
It's kind of because I don't know.
Okay, David, I thought you'd be watching the chat. If we're gonna have people talking, we gotta respond to them.
That literally, well, I didn't know how to actually respond to that. Like Zelda Breath of the Wild beats God of War any day. Like I don't know if that's a troll comment or that's
purely opinion.
Exactly. Like
Purely.
It's like there's really no comparison between the two.
I'll try to. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me okay as I am right now?
Yeah.
I'm on
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna try to stay and watch. Rising Phoenix, if you're still watching, we will respond to your comments because I'm actually watching them now.
Yeah. There's but what out of all of this, Thurman, what really got me, and this is the one that I kind of wanted everybody's opinion, because Justin, you and I have berated the PS4 Pro, and pretty much everybody's berated it. They have on here this PS4 Pro version 2.0.
Oh God, please no.
If this is legit, if they're doing
Just
like
do a PS5 already.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, stop delaying the inevitable.
It's
Just
time for a PS5.
Exactly.
Even then,
We're gonna be getting our sex box, like, what is it gonna be, squared or something like that?
Like
even and to be completely honest with you, Nintendo kind of destroyed the notion of like a generation now, because they kind of like went into like their Wii U points.
they
Like-
really, out of
Like,
everything.
I mean, to be honest, I still bitch about the fact that the Switch isn't actually a console. It's just like a dock with a handheld. It just bothers me so much.
It's a big handheld.
It's a big O.
Yeah, it's the Switch is this enigma. I don't really know how to take it. I really
Yeah.
It exists in this twilight where it is both a console and a handheld, but it isn't really either.
Well,
exactly.
Like, generations are becoming less and less of a thing because, like, PC gaming is becoming more and more prevalent, and then there's a lot of things that are weirding it out.
Factor in the
PC
fact
gaming wasn't prevalent.
it wasn't as mainstream as it is now. It had its niche of, the PC Master Race bros, but it never really became a thing till streaming became more prevalent.
That's mostly probably because of ease of access. I mean, you're already at your computer. Why not just record your screen?
And not only that, you get free access to most games without paying a subscription. It's just more leeway on PC.
Oh, Rising Phoenix, I agree. The Labo is a pile of dog shit.
Labo!
I think, I don't know. I think the Nintendo Switch, Nintendo was just going for gimmicks beyond this point with the Labo.
Yeah, when I first saw it, and I'm pretty sure everybody here was like, what the fuck, this has to be a troll because it's coming out on 420.
I thought it was
420,
ingenious,
bro.
but it was just too gimmicky.
Someone in the world rolled up one of the Labos and smoked a joint out of it?
Just
No
put that
comment.
controller in it. Just be like, this is the only use I'm gonna use the Slabo for.
$80 blunt. Here I come.
I mean, some of us already pay about that for our prescription anyway.
Man, that's funny.
It's
Check your weed privilege.
yeah.
Because
If this PS4 Pro version 2 is a real thing, do you think they're actually going to utilize regular 4K, or are they going to do this bullshit again?
who knows? Honestly, I feel like it's too early. I feel like it's too early for them to make another PS4 console. To be honest.
I mean, honestly, if they can get, the 4K, the native 4K on it, God forbid if they do, it will save them a lot of money, so they don't need to make a PS4. I mean PS5
Immediately, anyway.
It's gonna save them money, but in a sense, I just rather leave the PS4 and just make a new console, see what you can do.
Definitely. I mean, we're already getting at the cap of the tech, and they have stated that they're winding down the life cycle of the PS4. Sony's president had tweeted that out, like, we're entering like the end of the life cycle, which means we'll eventually be getting the PS5.
Because that seems like a bad business decision to like actually put that out.
Welcome to Sony.
That is literally a thing, sadly.
I honestly feel like they're pulling a PS Vita, like, right now, because, I mean, they still produce games for the Vita.
Yep.
So, I mean...
Not after this year, though.
Yeah. I mean, the PS4 is nowhere near dead. When I'm talking about the Pro, I was talking about the Pro. But I don't know. I don't like this concept about them, just slapping an update on it and just like, oh, maybe it'll be 4K native.
Exactly.
Well, with me, I kind of want to get back into gaming because I had like a lull where I fell out of it, and I think the PS5 is going to be like a good opportunity for me to do it. I want to buy a console at the end of its life.
I suggest, I suggest, Red, if that's the case. I mean, that's good. That'll give you a chance to,
I want to start fresh with a generation.
Yeah, like I legitimately, I think that's good. I think a new console generation is good for anyone who wants to get into like Sony's, Nintendo or Xbox, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
But like my issue, I suggest that you wait until the console has
Link to the article.
Exclusive games, like really good ones.
Oh, it won't let me post a link.
Because the issue with people getting consoles like new consoles on like day release is that it's a waste of money because.
You mean people like me?
It's not a waste of money because you're gonna get games eventually. It's an investment.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me at all. In fact, I prefer to do that because I find console with all of these millions of games overwhelming. Actually, too many options. When there's too many choices, I shut down. That's the kind of person I am. I'm like, I will never have time to play any of these, so I give up.
Like that's one thing I was trying to do. I mean, I came into the PS4 a little bit late, like a year late, and then I was playing catch up with most of it. I came into the Xbox One like 3 years late.
You have time, dude. One day you won't. Wait until you don't have time.
Dude, you have no idea. I'm trying to become affiliated on Twitch, and I'm still struggling to find the free time balancing channel, job, and streamer.
You know what you need? This weekend, Red plays more Ape Escape for his affiliation.
Like, I mean, I'm not denying that will probably be a thing, and then me playing some Data Boy.
I'm okay with that.
Why am I doing the Crash Bandicoot music?
I don't know, man. Are you sure you didn't get into my stash?
I thought you liked it when I played Ape Escape on your channel. You sounded all about it.
No, that's actually one of the things I would like to do. I mean, there's that, and then playing Data Boy, God of War 4, and then hopefully that'll give me enough hours and views to fucking at least boost that a little bit. No.
What?
No, Swan, I'm deleting it.
Swan has been causing mischief and just.
What's he doing?
I didn't do it. There's no proof.
We need a poll. What should Red's gateway back into gaming be? I vote the PC with World of Warcraft Alpha Azeroth. No.
I mean, you do use one, so I mean.
Removed.
No, don't do it. It needs to be a thing.
The
Red
issue
must join the World of Warcraft cult.
like
Oh, look at that! Look at that! Look at that!
like damn it.
Hashtag
Thank
Me
you,
Too.
Rising Phoenix.
Damn it.
Part of the Me Too movement.
Oh. Like that. The issue I have with World of Warcraft is I sank so much fucking time into that game. I lost years of my life playing that shit.
How do you
But
think
if you
I feel
enjoyed
about
it,
CS:GO?
did you really lose your life?
Like, it wasn't. It got to the point where it wasn't even about enjoyment. It was about I need to do things. I need to continue my adventures with friends.
That type of gamer.
Like it started with enjoyment, and then it just became like all of my life.
Or my life.
Yeah, I mean, I can relate too, because like at first I was enjoying World of Warcraft, and it almost felt like a job, because like what I'd usually main in World of Warcraft, and it kind of sounds scrubby. I used to mount hunt, so like I'd go into these dungeons and clear them 100 times until I finally get mounts. Like, for example, I think it took me like 1,000 tries to get one specific mount, but I was doing this hours on end. So it almost felt like a job in a sense. Like I was just dedicating my time, pouring onto this stuff.
Like it.
And the thing, I just try them like every now and then when I remember. Oh, hey, I don't have. There's a mount here. I haven't tried it in a while. Let's go ahead and try it.
Yeah, that was another thing too. Like I'd always stop by
just
like
absolutely
daily
did
raids and just see if I can get the mount drop. Like, cause raids would reset weekly, by the way, so you can't constantly run them. So there's like a certain cooldown, which is fair enough, I guess.
Yeah, it definitely started to be like that job. It was almost like that episode of South Park, Make Love Not Warcraft. The only thing the only difference was I wasn't literally Cartman shitting in a bucket under my desk. I was just sitting there. I was sitting there glued to my PC.
Yeah.
Man, cut it.
Man, cut it.
Man!
No, it was David, you need to take the dog out. Shut up. Shut up. I'm raiding.
Overly aggressive, David.
That would actually be a really interesting thing to see, I guess.
It's the David.
Oh god, the dad. Oh, David.
How would your dad feel if we got popular enough to have an David shirt with his face on it?
I'd buy the rights to his fucking face.
I own you now, bitch.
Can that be a thing?
I bought your likeness. No, literally, if I get the job at Centos, like my
Facebook design number 11.
My Facebook bio is I'm making more money than my father. Fuck you.
Oh, that'd be 1180, my dude.
That would literally be the biggest insult to him. Such a loving family, huh? Isn't it?
And then if your dad tries to get in, you'll be like, no, he's a crack addict.
Just make something up.
Don't let him.
No, he's an alcoholic.
I don't even know who this guy is. He was a bum on the street.
No? I think that's a fake ID there.
He does kind of look like a hobo off the street.
If he shaved the beard, he wouldn't be bad looking, not gonna lie.
He goes in and jizzes on people's couches. Does everyone remember that joke?
Oh god.
Not even a joke.
No, it's not even a joke. I walked out of my room and then he's just jacking it in my fucking lazy boy. I'm like, can you at least clean up?
Dude, has that ever said the son walked in on the father joke? What?
Like, it's not even in his room. It's like in the living room.
It's in the living room. He's watching Skinamax. I'm like, dude, Pornhub's a thing.
In your room, it exists.
Like the fucking the funny thing is the fucking patio window has those draw blinds and they were just wide open. I'm like, thank God it's night.
That's a strange role reversal, story there.
Moving on from old man jizz.
Moral of the story: jerk off when it's nighttime.
Right. The only other thing on this that really interests me on this E3 thing is Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind HD. And the Fallout.
We're still on this topic.
There's that, and the Fallout Nuevo El Paso.
I don't even know what that is, because I've heard rumors of one supposed to be like in Miami.
Yeah, there's like
It's
so many
hard to
rumors.
decipher now.
Like, that's the thing with Fallout, and that's why it's such an interesting series. When you're not getting another settlement needs your help.
I love Fallout.
That's Fallout 4.
Yeah, like that. Who?
Dude, wait. So is it supposed to be like a Fallout 4 expansion? Is that what we're thinking?
No, it's more than likely going to be a new title. If it's a legit thing, it's got to be a new title because they already wrapped up the season pass for.
Okay, because I just want that simply for the fact that Team 4-Star would probably do a playthrough of it, and their Fallout playthrough was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Rising Phoenix, I am disappointed. Fallout is shit.
Oh, I want to know what love is. That's what I do when I've been disappointed. I sing that song.
What?
Rising Phoenix, we still love you because you're a fan. But fun.
Like I had the live stream up.
Like that.
Oh, you can't be dissing Fallout. No.
I mean, I love both Elder Scrolls and Fallout. They're part of my childhood, so whenever I get a new entry into that,
you might need a new childhood. Ooh.
I need a new childhood.
I mean, I feel some type of difference for Fallout. I feel like the console versions are more solidified because for some reason, when I play the PC versions, there's a lot more bugs.
Oh god, yes.
Like, even getting the game to run is a process because you have to have the Windows Live bullshit go through. Even though that doesn't even exist anymore. I mean, those servers are up.
Dude,
so
it's shit like that, which is why fucking console gaming is still a thing. They could make
it's just
not be
more
shitty.
easy access on a console. It's just straight to the game.
That's what I want.
Yeah, on PC, the problem I was having was actually installing the game and it was Steam. So I'd figured this would be professional. I could, download the game and play it automatically. No, I had to go through command scripts and fucking change a few things just to play the game. And I was like, so I'm paying money for this and I have to change the script in order to play this. And it was for New Vegas. No, it was for Fallout 3. New Vegas was fine.
Yep, I was gonna say. Fallout 3 for me, even though I bought through the Steam Marketplace, it still gave me bullshit.
And the reason why I bought it, honestly, is because it's on sale.
Yep. So, no, Swan, my booty's off limits.
Not according to the thumbnail.
That thumbnail is just glorious. I can live edit this up.
Happened to David.
This is what Noble's working on while we're doing the podcast, by the way.
Oh shit, Noble. Oh, we see it.
Give me a moment to live edit this up. This is going to be a new layout for our podcast.
It's going to be gorgeous. Trust me on this one.
I don't think we have a choice but to trust you.
Yeah, sadly, you're the Photoshop master, not me. Oh, fun. I love how it comes in. Whee! I get to rotate it.
For that 20, I'm going to make your picture gigantic, and also I'm going to put on fake acne, just because I can.
Literally,
Acne.
this is...
oh my god. Look at that picture.
Oh, I mean, it's taken from an iPhone. That's one thing I will give iPhone. They have a fucking sexy camera. Everything else is a pile of dog shit.
Ooh, yeah.
It's too bad David's facing the other way, though.
Yeah, I'm as far away from you as possible.
Oh, and the best part is I took it on a Mac, on a camera, on an iPhone.
Hey, Noble, I have one request. Swap Red and Swan. So Swan is as far away from my booty hole.
You guys will be able to place anyone anywhere.
Oh, okay, good.
Fight.
So Swan will be as far away from my booty hole as possible at all times. Great.
You're already facing the wrong way.
Yeah, I don't trust
on
you.
The top left corner.
Like
up there.
What's stopping you?
Guys, I have to start heading to work. Love y'all. Thanks for coming. You guys can keep doing the podcast as long as you want.
Alrighty.
Thank you to all of our subscribers, new subscribers, old subscribers. Thank you to Rising Phoenix, even though your opinion on Fallout sucks. And,
dude, don't be dissing Phoenix. He's good company.
I know. I love you, dude. But seriously though, Fallout 4 is godly. Okay.
Bye, Red. Get out of here.
Right.
It's the combat system, bro.
Love ya.
Right.
Well, okay. I did actually one last thing. Justin, did you not like Fallout 4?
No, I actually really did.
You did like it. Okay, yeah. So like I only played it myself a bit, but I watched a really good playthrough of it that made me just fucking fall in love with it. I really like the aesthetic in the world of Fallout, but yeah, I'll talk to you guys later.
Talk to you later, man.
Later, Red.
Bam.
All right. So moving on.
There was 4.5.
Yeah, moving on from E3 stuff. And the lovely work you're doing there, Noble. Thank you very much for that. We have some news about Game Pass here that I was going to use for Azazel's in, but I'm like, we got multiple Xbox gamers in here. So we lost 23 titles this month. At the end of the month, they're like, and if you want to check out my Azazel's Den video, I talk about it there. We lose like the Borderlands 1, we lose all the BioShocks, the original versions. We're losing like a bunch of indie titles as well. There's a couple.
Oh, so we're losing these games on the Game Pass?
Yep. Like, they always said that it would be kind of like Netflix, that they were going to rotate titles in and out.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So, I mean, it's not that big a deal, but we're losing some real heavy hitters. To me, I already own physical copies of all these games anyway, so it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Oh, Thurman dropped.
Yep, Thurman's gone.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, and he's back.
Hey.
I mean, honestly, I think it's a good thing, because if you have so many heavy titles on a Game Pass and you don't let them go for the rotation, it's just gonna clog up. So I do understand where they're coming from to allow, more games in, even if it's just an indie game or if it's a different heavy title hitter.
Yep. I mean, the only issue I have with that is they could have spread out some of the drops. Yeah. And dropping 23 at once only to replace it with the 6 that we'll get to in a minute seems a little odd to me. Like, that's the only real issue I have.
So we're only having 6 games on the Game Pass?
6 of them that are added.
Oh, 6 of them that are added, but the 20 that were...
Yeah, it just seems like a little bit of an imbalance to me.
Okay.
Although it is nice that, they're getting, like, some indie games in. I mean, it's a good way to promote for somebody.
I mean, yes, but now that I'm seeing David bring up that they only added 6, I could understand
that's a bad thing.
There.
A 17 game difference is not a good thing when you're going into the negative.
Yeah. So we're getting MotoGP 17, Next Up Hero, Mega Man Legacy Collection 2. We're getting Wasteland 2, Director's Cut. We're getting the Technomancer and Disneyland Adventures.
Now, actually, I find that it's interesting with the Mega Man one, because that's a collection. Therefore, it has a level of game. So I guess it kind of negates the factor of all these games being removed. But at a sense, there's not like another one of those collection titles in it.
Yeah, there's the original Mega Man collection is in there. This was tweeted out by Major Nelson earlier. I'll just put it over Red since he's not here anymore. Yeah. We also are getting added to EA's Vault today, Battlefield 1943, which became backwards compatible as well. So it's one of those. I'm sure they'll add more down the road.
Yeah, when they add more later, it's gonna make more sense for dropping, 23 titles and replacing with, just 6 titles. But And for the moment, it just sounds so lackluster.
Mm-hmm. The only one there that really interests me personally would be, aside from Mega Man
Collection.
Aside from Mega Man, which is an obvious one, is Wasteland 2, because it's kind of like a Fallout aesthetic kind of thing. They draw a lot of influence from the Fallout series and vice versa, so it's an interesting title to add. But everything else there, I mean, Thurman, you were thinking about getting Technomancer, so I mean, you can try that out.
Yeah, you stop me every time.
Like I said, it'll eventually be free, and I was right.
So is this for PC or?
This is for Xbox Game Pass. Like, I mean, the Game Pass, no matter how you look at it, is one of the most glorious things that they've done, that Microsoft's done. It's what I've said that PlayStation Now really should be, because you can actually download the entire title and I have to fucking stream it and sit in a queue and just, oh, you want to play Braid? That classic indie game? Well, you're number 625 in queue.
That sounds very painful.
I sat in a queue for...
I think I'd rather get my teeth extracted with no Novocaine.
I sat in a queue for fucking Borderlands for like 5 hours. I'm like, well, I literally just was testing this.
That's 5 hours you could have spent like raiding or looking for or hunting down achievements or mount hunting.
Literally, I just sat, popped PlayStation up on one monitor. For PlayStation Now, I sat and I was playing Borderlands Handsome Collection on my other TV. I'm like, I just want to see how long this queue takes.
I think I'd rather be shiny hunting than sitting in a queue for 5 hours to play a game that I already own a physical copy of.
Exactly. Like, I own a physical copy of it, too. I just wanted to see the queue process. Because my friend... 5 hours? Yeah. My friends were like, you're gonna suffer playing PlayStation Now. I'm like, I got a free trial. Fuck it.
What's the worst that's gonna happen?
Exactly.
What could possibly go wrong?
So I just popped down to the first title that interests me. Like, I'm sure various games have various wait times depending on popularity. But streaming a title versus downloading it, like on Xbox Game Pass, it's so much better. Like, oh, it's installed. Great, I can play this title. Oh, I'm in queue. I have to wait hours to play it.
Now, is there a reason why they had a queue and stuff?
Like, that's the thing. I never really understood it. Like, they have the technology to actually give you the title to download it. I don't know if it's...
Yeah, because they can make infinite amounts of downloadable titles.
Exactly.
So...
They wanted to be different.
Unless they're running on some crappy server that can only get so many megabytes.
I'm assuming what it is I'm assuming what it is, you know, IT business here. I'm assuming it's some virtual server that they're just sitting there like, you can only have this much traffic on this title, you can only have this much traffic on this title. At any given time, once somebody logs off, the next person has direct access, and then they have a queue on it. But
Fortnite servers, though.
I mean, it's essentially the same thing, really.
Yeah.
That makes way too much sense.
You know, it's unfortunate. I mean, there's a lot of great titles on PlayStation Now. I'm not trying to knock it in any way, shape, or form. It's just, it's the simplicity of Game Pass versus sitting and waiting to me. That's what drives me more to the Game Pass versus PS Now.
If you want to wait in a queue, just download World of Warcraft and try to get into any kind of dungeon or raid as a DPS. You'll never get into it.
Get the Rivendare Death Charger.
Ugh.
I think you could do that before David could get into a Borderlands game.
Right. It's a shame. It's a shame that I don't know. Yeah.
You know, there's plenty of times where I don't like Justin.
It's a shame
there's
I got
also
this.
times like this where I just love him.
It's a shame I don't have this that's in my hand.
I gotta go on that live stream and see what David just put up in his fucking hand.
It's a shame I don't have this.
It's Borderlands.
Oh, I see it. It's a shame I don't have it.
It was literally just to test it. Like, I could have done a David Cage title, but I'm like, I'd rather drag my balls through glass.
He's like, I'd rather wait 5 hours than actually play the real game right about now. I just want to test the waters out. How
exactly
asinine this whole process is.
Yeah, Rising Phoenix, I have played Tales from the Borderlands. It was actually one of my favorite Telltale games. That's saying something, as I've suffered through the fucking second season of Batman and wanted to end my life in the middle of the live stream.
That Joker, Bat.
That was horrendous.
Even the finale was so just like, we're done with the game. Yay.
I usually throw my controller out of rage, but I threw it up in joy. I'm just like, fuck yeah, I'm done.
And then you have like, I think like one person in the comment was like,
yeah,
nitpicking. You know?
Yeah, you chose all the wrong choices. I'm like, I don't give a shit. I'm done with this.
They made all the unique choices.
They made all the choices you wouldn't choose on.
Exactly. That's the glory of Telltale. You have the illusion of free choice.
Yeah.
Like, that was one of the things that... And I love Batman. That's one of my favorite comic characters of all time. So, when I saw that there was a sequel to it, I'm like, I want to play this. Because it involves the Joker, which is, ironically, one of the most popular villains and one of my favorite villains. And then I saw what they did with the Joker, and I saw what they did with Harley Quinn, and I'm like, oh, God, no. No.
David's in for a long ride of dread.
I was. Like, the first 2 episodes were great. 3 started to shit the bed. 4, I slowly started my descent into this, depression of like, no.
Oh, yeah, because, like, at this time, you guys, like, were waiting for that last episode to come out, and just fucking release it so we can play this shit.
Yeah, once 4 came out, I'm like, just give me the 5th one so I can stream the finale, and I can be done with this pile of shit, and I'll never have to play this game again. The minute I got out of the live stream, I'm like, uninstall. I saw the platinum trophy pop up. I'm like, good, done, don't care. I clouded over my save. Like, if there's ever a season 3, there's my choices. Boom. If season 3 happens, please fucking redeem it.
I don't know. I could never get into like those Telltale games, like the Batman ones. I could never get into those.
My gateway to it was The Walking Dead.
I did play that one though, and I did like it. I just have to get really immersed into those type of games to play them.
Yeah, like The Walking Dead was my first one, and then I went back and I played like Sam and Max because I read the little comic strips when I was a kid. I'm like, I can see what Telltale used to be versus what they are now. It's kind of unique to see that little retrospective. But and then I was like, okay, I'm going to go and play some of their backlog at the time, like the Michonne trilogy, triple episode. Who messaged me? Oh, it's Red. Yay.
Is he still watching?
Yeah, he's like, make sure to keep eye on the chat. Yeah, I'm like, okay, cool. Like React.
Yeah, we're doing it.
Yeah, then I went back and like played the Fables game, Wolf Among Us. Was hyped when they were doing a season 2 of that. I'm like, great, because that was one of the best stories they actually wrote, aside from Tales from the Borderlands, which sadly would probably never see a sequel from because it didn't do well. And then I went in and played Life is Strange, and I fell in love with that world. It was like looking into
copyright strikes. It was good.
Oh, we're an indie band. We're just going to have our agent and copyright strike all your live streams and all your videos.
It's like, can I get a break?
It's like, okay, I'll just make a response video and just send that off to everybody as a warning. Like, yeah, here. The appeal of Telltale games, Swan. I don't know why you didn't bring this up in there.
I was hoping to get more, like, some amount of chat going, even though we have like what, 2 or 3 viewers.
Yeah, I can. That's basically how your choices matter. Like, the only issue I have with Telltale games is sometimes, no matter what choice you see, like, I'll watch other YouTubers play it, and
You made the wrong choice. You
Right.
always make the wrong choice.
Like, I'll watch like their playthrough, and they'll do like a complete parallel to mine, and some of the things will actually seem like they turn out exactly the same. Like with the Harley Quinn choice, for example, no matter what you choose, essentially, you still get a shitty ending in the second version or the second season of Batman. If you choose to betray Harley and go after Bane versus going after Harley, no matter what that choice is, it seems to affect it absolutely in no way, shape, or form. And some of them for the Joker seem like they made no difference whatsoever. Some of the Catwoman choices, same thing. So it's like there's minor and major choices that affect the story versus don't affect the story really, even though they say this affects it.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that also might carry over from the YouTubers like season 1. Like a lot of my choices carried over from that as well. And hopefully season 2's choices affect, season 3 if they do season 3 in a more dynamic way versus, you have 2 versions of the Joker, both of which are completely cringy as fuck, and you sit there and want to drink bleach in the middle of your live stream.
That actually could be an interesting thing for a season 3, though. Like, since, like, in your case, you had, like, Bat Joker and whatnot, it's like, he's still acting like, a Batman clone, but it's still Joker-y stuff and all that.
Like,
that'd make for a very interesting season 3.
It really could. It's just, like, at this point, I don't know if they're going to do a season 3 because it didn't get a very good reception. Just like I don't think they'll do a season 2 of the Guardians of the Galaxy one because it got a horrible reception. I think that Telltale's really on the decline of like being relevant in any way, shape, or form.
Kind of like Battle Royale style games.
I mean, I sadly don't see Battle Royale going anywhere anytime soon.
Like, it won't be its own game genre. It'll be more of a mode that you'll get in
exactly
like, shooters, but like the actual like making a genre of it is going to die.
Yeah, making a genre of it will definitely die down. It'll start being bundled in games like we're seeing with Black Ops 4, for example, with the Blackout mode. We'll probably see some form of Battle Royale and fucking...
At least they're getting away from the freaking zombies.
Well, I mean, there's still zombies. I mean, you're in a fucking Coliseum stabbing zombies in this one. There's no storyline.
Zombies.
They're just they jumped the shark at this point. It's just like they're trying so hard to do all these gimmicky shit with zombies now. Let's go back to the roots. That's what they should have done for a long time ago.
They can only go back to the roots so many times.
We can't keep going back to World War II.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of went back to the roots a little bit in World War II.
Like, the Coliseum shit is fine. Just have it the way Black Ops or World War II had it. Or World of War had it. But they're just going to add shit and change zombies up to a way where it's just not going to feel like zombies anymore.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the only reason why I stopped playing any kind of Call of Duty game ever.
I'll be right back, guys.
Alright.
Oh no, our views are going to tank. Our show's going to get canceled.
We only have 3 people looking right now, probably including me.
That's including me too, though.
I mean, the whole thing about the Call of Duty zombies thing, like, I liked it, like, from Black Ops to Black Ops 2. I kind of like Infinite Warfare zombies because it gave you, like, that retrospect. I think there's ages of, like, the 60s to the 80s, I believe. It was okay. It wasn't too bad.
You got like when they first did it, it was like it was interesting because like oh hey, it's a modern Call of Duty game, but now we have a mode where we can go and kill zombies. Okay, that's really cool. But then when you do it every time you come out with a new one, it just gets stale and repetitive, and it loses its interesting parts.
And at one point, they did change up the formula with Call of Duty Ghosts. They had the extinction mode, and I really liked that mode. I think that was one of my favorite, zombies aside type mode, because it was different. It had aliens, and I like aliens per se because I like sci-fi based game genres and stuff. So it was something
that actually sounds interesting.
It really was, but the thing was, it was so like the whole Call of Duty Zombies thing was so like black holed to believe in that concept that a lot of people didn't really care for the aliens extinction concept. It was just like, man, like some people were like, give us back zombies. Like it almost like kind of brainwashed people to like accept zombies as the norm. So that's why after
those poor people.
The issue with the aliens is like when Modern Warfare 3 came out after Black Ops, zombies they had a mode called Survivor. Survivor was fun.
Yeah,
that was fun. But aliens, to be honest, Call of Duty Ghosts is a bad game overall. But the issue is that aliens just didn't. It wasn't unique or anything. It was just frankly boring. Like there
zombies aren't unique either.
I mean,
yes, they are. There was no true. There was like when I played Aliens, I was just like, "This is it." Like it was just, there was nothing. There was nothing to differentiate itself from any other like I wouldn't say like mini game, like any other like side game that COD has done. Like when it comes to Survivor, zombies, or what have you. Like it just didn't. It wasn't. It was a good idea, but poorly executed. It felt like a game of like Evolve without you don't play as the alien.
We don't talk about Evolve here on this channel.
We should play Evolve here on this channel.
No. Like you won't find anyone on that.
You won't, dude. It's dead as fuck.
That's why I said we should, because we have 5 people.
That game is dead.
That game is dead for a fucking reason.
Who's gonna be the monster?
Urban brought it up. Dibs. Everybody wants to be the monster, though.
I mean, Evolve wasn't a bad game. It just, I actually really did like it. It was just that
it looked like an interesting concept. It's just that, like Thurman was mentioning about Call of Duty, it was poorly executed.
Yeah.
Hey, Saber, we do have our new name. We're just going to be rebranding it around what started the channel, the Kontrolled Khaos podcast. So the channel will be Kontrolled Khaos, and basically that'll start rolling out in the next couple weeks. We're going to start renaming like playlists, videos, all that good stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna have like a badass intro and everything. Just you wait.
Don't hype the intro too much right now.
I don't even know if we're gonna have
intro.
I legitimately don't know right now if we're going to do an intro yet. I think we'll be doing the intro eventually. It would require me learning After Effects alongside Red a lot more.
Speaking of Red,
hey, what the fuck?
I'm driving. I'm driving. I just wanted to hop in real quick. So I was. Did any of you see Saber's recent comment?
Yes, we just responded.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Yeah, so I wanted to hop in and say, yeah, it's going to be Kontrolled Khaos, named after our podcast. I think just summarizes this channel pretty well, because it's just chaos trying to explode outwards, but we attempt our best to control it, like a horrible, horrible pathogen trying to destroy humanity. That's what we are.
I mean, to be fair, I think I've already single-handedly destroyed humanity with this podcast.
But yeah. So and when it comes to I don't know about, probably not intro, but I'm looking into an outro, because intros are, most people just skip them. Outro, and by outro I more mean like an end card. That's what I'm going for.
That was I was hoping you would actually come back in to talk about that, because I figured you were like, oh, David's not gonna read the comments.
David.
Yeah. Thank you, Saber. I really appreciate the comments and all the love here. But yeah.
You want to know what else I just got? So I got a message from I cannot pronounce his username still. The guy who made the rules thing.
Yeah. Teshu.
I got a message from him. Like asking if I saw it and like how I liked it or whatever. And I told him I appreciated it. I appreciated him for doing that. And he did a comment that I've been waiting for as a YouTuber for so long. He did the whole like, you guys make my day every day, and I could do. And I was like, oh my god, it's happening. Yeah, it kind of melted my heart. I was like, it's happening. We make people happy, David. We do it.
And like literally,
I'm just so proud of you guys.
Like literally, if I'm, where did I put that? No, that's the wrong one. Wrong one. I'm going to try and see if this is the proper image. Boop, boop.
Live edits to the rescue.
Like literally, when we were doing the 100 sub, video, I live edited this up. This is from my personal Facebook. Like, this was literally. I'm not good at words in general.
I don't do words good.
But like,
explains why he's got his own little show.
Exactly. Like, I can rant into a camera. Like Michael started Rage Quit. He would just rage into a camera. Like, it's like, but seriously, all of you that are in the live feed and everything, thank you so much. This literally has given me a reason to get out of bed. Like, it's just fucking been. It's been a struggle trying to get some projects off the ground, and
he's gonna cry.
No, I don't do tears. I don't do tears much anymore, but it's.
They all dried up.
There's gonna be a stream of alcohol just running out of his eyes.
Yeah, literally, it's just whiskey pouring out of my eyes.
Rubbing alcohol.
Like, guys, I'm not hungover anymore. I cried out all my beer.
But yeah, it's been one of those things, like getting the channel off the ground, getting everything, the way it is now, and now with the rebranding and working on, more well-edited videos like Red Year Project, the gaming project that we're working on, and all that. It's been humbling to grow from, like, literally 2 months ago making a joke with a Lenny face and a fucking, like,
69, yeah.
Red rubbing peanut butter over his face.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, hey, Saber's Nightmare, if you want to see a fucking freak, when we had 69 subscribers, we wanted to do a video just to be fucking immature, and I was like, we have something weird. And David took a shot, and I was like, I don't drink alcohol, so I was like, what can I do? And I looked around, and there was a jar of peanut butter in the room, and I was like, rubbing peanut butter on my face. Here we go.
He stuck his hand in.
It's happening.
I'm just like, I don't know.
Dog when you need it.
There's like a moment where I'm like, has he just lost his fucking mind? Should I be concerned for my life?
Imagine when we have 169. Every 69, we should do something.
Oh, a running joke, huh?
This could be fun.
Rising Phoenix, that is normal.
Yep. Oh my god.
Red rubbing peanut butter in his face. Red doing shots of Tabasco.
Oh yeah. Like
Red eating habaneros.
What is happening over here? There's a police.
Well, Red, be careful. I mean, you're not supposed to be talking on the cell phone and driving.
He's not texting.
He's not supposed to be talking, unless he's using, like, the headset. Are you using your headphones? Red?
And Red was gone.
Dun, dun, dun.
But, yeah, but moving on from...
Quick, switch to cops.
Moving on from that, Justin, we saw the Battlefield reveal.
Nope. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That's got me more hyped for a Battlefield game than I've ever been in a long, long time, man.
You know what's surprising, though? A lot of people hated it. because of the whole controversy behind it. But I liked it. And just from a pure perspective, I was just like, I'm not going to show any hate to this game, regardless of how many people throw the whole, SJW argument in the fucking mix. And I did really like it.
Yeah, this, Noble, if you're listening, instead of me typing this, I'll take a look at that video in a little bit after we're done with streaming this. Oh, shit. And he dropped.
Oh, shit, Noble's gone.
Where's our funeral dirge?
Yeah. We got people blurping in and out. Noble, are you live?
Yeah, for some reason it disconnected me and reconnected me, and it was just acting out.
Oh, okay.
Those purple tacos.
Did you get the video I sent you?
I will take a look at it after we're done streaming. I don't want to have background noise. But yeah, like I do agree there, Justin. Like the whole SJW aspect of like arguing because there's a woman in the trailer and all that. I'm like, what the fuck is even going on here? It's 2018. Who cares?
It was horrible.
There were women that fought in World War II. Like, grow the fuck up, you immature little fuckwits.
Yeah.
So yeah, what exactly was happening with that?
Swan, what was happening was
like I saw some of the comments, but it's like I didn't understand the context behind them.
Yeah, I screenshotted a few of them, but like anytime, like during the actual trailer of the game, like oh they showed a woman, like these salty guys per se, or like being overly technical girls, they would say, oh, there was no woman that served in the front line. But in a sense, there was women that did serve in World War II, regardless of what side it was, if it was the Axis or the Allies. And like people were disregarding it and say, "Whoa, they didn't serve in the front line," but they did serve in the war.
See, honestly, women didn't really get a frontline role until recently.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like they wouldn't even allow women into into infantry until like while I was still in.
Yeah. And like some people are like, if you wanted to implement women, you should have like had it more modern time based, other than World War II, which I do believe. But I mean, it just doesn't matter anymore. Just I think,
dude, it's a video game. It's based on real life events, but it's its own continuity.
Yeah,
exactly.
I like people like, oh, looks like I'm not buying Battlefield 5. You're not gonna buy Battlefield 5 in it. That's pretty fucking petty, honestly.
Exactly. Like this whole era of like people bitching because women are getting more relevancy in gaming, and people bitching because you're getting like more gay relevancy in gaming, and bi and trans and all that. Like who the fuck cares?
They disallowed the Don't Ask, Don't Tell on my way to the airport to go to basic.
Like,
so that was already a thing too.
Exactly. Like, who the fuck cares what's in the game? It's still a piece of fiction.
And, at the end of the day, people are still gonna buy it. So what does it matter?
Yeah.
About your opinion? I mean, it's sad to say, but it's true.
I hate this whole like terminology, but if you're going to be a fucking SJW and bitch and moan about one aspect, or you're going to be just a conservative cuck and bitch because women are being referenced in a video game where they actually served in that actual period of time, regardless if they were frontline or reserve.
They served within a capacity in the real life thing that makes sense to have them serve in a similar capacity within the video game.
Exactly. Like, if that's your defining factor of buying a game or not, you're the most petty piece of shit on the planet.
Now, all that shit aside, the good things about Battlefield 5, I like that they're introducing the per se, they're not going to have battle passes. Was that what he said? Something about the battle pass where maps will now be free and stuff.
Yep. They were saying there was no premium pass, which
thank God.
Which is the greatest idea they've ever come up with. Like,
yeah.
But they're going to find a way to recoup revenue. So I'm going to
loot boxes.
Oh, of course.
I mean, that would be the most obvious choice because even Halo 6 does that, and they do have free content like maps and stuff.
Yeah,
so
Halo 5 with
them do that.
Halo 5 with the rec packs. Battlefield 1 with the battle packs even. Like it's not like EA isn't used to controversy regarding the whole loot box market.
Hey guys,
Red has reappeared.
Yeah, sorry, I got a call and then I was in the fucking like dead zone on my drive, But anyway,
At least we know that you didn't get picked up by the cops.
Oh yeah. There was like a bunch of cops at like a four-way stop, and there was like only one lane of traffic open. It was weird. Anyway, but no. So yeah, I'll just end off by saying, and then I'll leave you guys to your Battlefield discussion. Like David said, it just the success of this channel, and even before it was successful, even when we were getting like nothing, just the doing it, getting up, making something, feeling like I was putting something productive into the world was amazing, and I just appreciate so much everyone that's here, and I hope that we keep growing this channel, and we will keep doing it because we did it when we got nothing in return, and now that we get stuff in return, we're only going to do more and more. So I love you all, and I'm head to work. What's funny?
Like Rising Phoenix here. Battlefield 2 sucks. EA is horrible. I'm assuming you mean Battlefront 2.
I was gonna say I'm being emotional here.
Red, I do agree though. Like drudging through the no activity period It was both hard, and it was both, you know, a reason to, you know, keep moving forward, essentially. Hashtag money on there.
I was just going to say that.
Like, it was...
coming in, like, fucking bowing down like a god.
Like, I'm kind of glad I removed his Lord's role in the server, so he couldn't hop in this one. But yeah.
Etribic, we love you, but you gotta chill.
Yeah, right. Like, seriously, you gotta chill there. But like, it was weird, dragging bringing him in. But it gave us a little bit of a focus too. Like, while he was reviewing like our past podcasts, it gave me ideas to implement as we move forward. He was like, "This was a technical issue. This was an issue. Like, how can you improve this?" And we were talking in DMs, and it's like, I never really noticed some of the things, you know, being the one that was actually recording it, being the one that was actually streaming it when we got to the streaming portion. You know, you never notice the little nuances, like, oh, your camera was slightly out of focus. Oh, you didn't notice that, like, your camera, like, inside of OBS, there's, like, this dead zone that cuts off the camera at a certain area. So I would move in and out of frame. And while I'm checking comments in the live stream, you know, it's kind of hard to notice if I drift in and out of frame sometimes because of how far down the comments go and me inserting articles as we move along into the description of the video. So literally, if I drift out of frame or if I get interrupted like I did earlier, and come back into frame and I'm still in like the live chat, I can't actually see if I'm completely in frame or if I'm not in frame or if something shifted while I turn my mic so I can exit my little prison cell of an area that I work in for the channel.
So what I missed, I had dogs barking and panic and discos and stuff.
Panics at the discos.
Yeah, but like the area that I work in at the channel, if you can imagine like a cubicle and then half the size of a cubicle. And then that's my area inside this apartment that I work for the channel.
It's not that small. It's small, but it's not cubicle small.
And then in the space behind him is where I work out of.
No. Actually, if any of our new fans, this is how it lays out, okay? Me and David live around a half hour away from each other. Swan used to live around here, but he just moved. Where'd you move, Swan?
To Brooks, Kentucky, just south of Louisville.
Swan lives there. Justin, where do you live?
I live in Massachusetts on the East Coast.
And then Noble and Thurman is our Vegas branch.
Yeah.
We got people in Vegas.
And Dragon and Eli are our New York branch.
They live in New York.
Yeah, and then
this channel is just comprised of people around the fucking country, which is. But yeah.
Did we already mention Jessa in California?
I actually am gonna get off.
Oh yeah, Jessa and Cali.
So see you guys later.
Talk to him later, man.
Go away.
Yes, be gone, thoughts. But yeah, drop.
He keeps going away and keeps coming back. He's like a freaking disease or something.
He's like, he comes back. He's like, thank you guys so much. 100 subscribers. All right, I gotta go. He's like, all right, I gotta tell my last seance before I go again. And then he leaves.
No, I got
one more thing.
I'm sorry, y'all, but I know Battlefield's great, but the 100 subscribers is more important.
Nah, we love Red. We probably wouldn't really have gotten anywhere without him.
Well, no, I a little bit more.
I think we say that a lot.
A little bit more backstory. I mean, I edit some things on the channel, but he is an editing master. So a lot of the stuff you see on the channel that's well edited, yeah, that wasn't me. That was Red.
If he can make a moving image, that is godly. Because I can't even do that. Like, I've been trying to find programs to do that, but it's just like, oh, I gotta pay money for this program.
I mean, I did offer to sell you my Vegas 16 copy.
I mean, I should be getting money on Friday, so.
Like, it's just sitting here on my hard drive, and I got like a fucking product key.
$25, I think it would.
Yeah, it was like $25. I mean, I have like DJ suites because I bought the Humble Bundle Vegas thing, and just like. Mm-hmm. I'm sure if nothing else, somebody will need this down the road. So I have the.
Then it'll be me. It'll be like, David, I need that Vegas Pro.
Like, that's me though. It's just like, I might be an impulsive fuck, but everything I buy impulsively is actually come in handy. Like I bought the Elgato on an impulse buy, and I'm like, it's actually come in handy for like the gaming project and streaming and all that wonderful stuff.
Do you actually like the Elgato, like the whole like setup about it? Because I'm not a fan of it. Like, because like I could stream on my PS4, Xbox One, or the Switch, but the problem is I have to rearrange everything.
Yeah, there's flaws to the Elgato, definitely. One of them being like it tries to override my fucking sound card. So,
oh yeah, it does happen on my PC too.
Like, so every time I get a Windows update, for example, and like, oh, I gotta remember, I gotta close out of Elgato line sound, or otherwise I won't have any audio in OBS, or I won't have any audio inside of fucking Discord. So there's that issue, and then there's like the issue with like the overlays in there. Like, that's something that I need to get back to Dragon's artist, because she was making me an overlay, and then I kind of let her do her own thing because she was in the process of moving. And that's something Utena's not used to doing. Okay, who's in Lord's text?
The Thurman podcast.
That's more cringe than the entire world can handle.
No, kill it with
You're
fire.
welcome for that.
That is more cringe than the entire world can handle, man. That's like, no.
That deserves a live edit on that one.
I mean, you
should do it. Might as well.
I mean, you're not wrong, because as glorious as it is a great shit post, but it would never, ever happen. Like, Thurman will never have solo content.
How would Thurman be able to do a podcast with himself?
I
That
mean,
just seems ridiculous and cringy.
I actually think it's possible. I think it is.
Like, he's not wrong, because Thurman can...
I'm reading this article. Apparently, Morgan Freeman got hit. People are accusing him of sexual harassment.
Morgan Freeman, no.
I'm reading the article, and some of this stuff doesn't even make sense to me.
It might be fake news. Let's wait till we hear more. Like, no, not Morgan Freeman. Although, I'm more of a Sam Jackson guy. If anybody needed to narrate my life, it would have to be Sam Jackson, because it would need a lot of F-bombs.
And then the David went over, and he started filming his podcast.
Well, I mean, Chris Velasquez was good at listening in general.
Yeah. It's a shame.
Remember when he was on here?
It's a shame he died, isn't it? Like
Did anybody have that funeral dirge ready to go?
No.
Oh,
It's that.
my fucking God.
Like, yeah, it's really.
It's like that one time when Thundercats' dignity died.
Oh God. Well, we'll get to that in a minute.
Gotta love that Cal art style.
Ugh. It's not even the art style that offends me, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Vomits and cat balls.
Right. Like, but there's so much to this Battlefield thing, like seeing like the attrition system, health bar being in stages. That's great. We had the revive system. That's confusing to me here. If you look in the topics list, like,
yeah, it's gonna be like a little bit longer, right? To revive people. And,
yeah,
like, you're able to drag them out of. Like, I could just imagine that. Just like, I'm over here dragging my teammate and I accidentally dip him in water or some shit. Like, oh fuck.
So it simulates real life, sort of.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. With the
Like,
whole, because
sort
I know
of.
there's a lot of games in PC right now that do factor in with the whole real life aspect. Like, for example, one of them, the earliest ones, was Surgeon Simulator.
Oh my God, you're right.
And that game was just something else. I mean, you know, throw knives away and just like rage quit and be like, fuck this shit, I don't want this.
Throws a
it's
heart
actually
at the wall, you know.
Yeah.
Oh
just like, I
God,
don't
Rising
even need
Phoenix.
this
I
heart.
was a little bit concerned until you put the JK in there.
Maybe he's joking about the JK.
Oh God, it's joke inception. I can't handle it. Anyway, like bullet penetration, that's nothing new. Less grenades because less ammo. I'm actually concerned about that. Like, how long will these matches actually last if we're, you know, dealing with that? Because remember,
so it's gonna be like one frag, one flash.
That's the thing. They didn't really say. They're just saying like less grenades, and because
Like,
of less
that's
ammo.
what they issued us when, you know, we were messing around with stuff in basic. Like, here's your frag pouch, here's your flash pouch, and you only have one of each.
Use them tactfully.
That's kind of it.
Ever been flashbanged? Anybody? Don't feel good.
Nope. I've been CS gassed though.
Ugh. Nope.
That's never any fun.
Nope. Ugh.
Especially when they make you take the mask off.
Oh, fuck that on every level, man.
Like, it was bad if you got the mask on and the mask wasn't on, right?
Did anybody pass out in your basic?
No, I don't remember anybody actually passing out.
I had one pass out of mine. It was fun. Oh shit.
And we lost Justin.
Oh shit.
Well, there goes that.
Oh.
He knew what was coming, and he was like, "Nope, I can't be here for that."
But destruction explodes inwards and outwards. We got tank driving into buildings. We got a lot of new features. You know,
like that sounds pretty fun.
Like, Beat Saber's like, best variant. Oh god, no. Like,
wait, what?
His best VR game. Oh, Beat Saber is best VR game. I've never played it, so I can't really weigh in on that. I don't.
Sorry, Phoenix. I don't do VR.
I mean, I goof around with my buddy's VR system, but I don't own one personally. I've been a fan of like the Rick and Morty simulator.
It's a poor Swanee.
You are a poor Swanee. Yes, I know.
Poor Swanees need more WoW though.
I gotta respond to this really quickly.
So what's this thing about driving a tiger tank? Never mind. You already talked about it.
Like there's so much to do with this new battlefield that I can't wait.
I thought it was a literal tiger tank.
There's so much that can actually be done with this that I'm actually, more impressed by this than I am with the Call of Duty for once, because normally I lean more towards buying Call of Duty day one and then getting Battlefield down the road, because
heck, that's still better than me. I usually shy away from first person shooters, and I'm highly interested in this now.
Yeah, like there's Battlefield to me is like, if you want to go on a full blown realistic war shooter, go here. If you want to fucking be a tryhard and go 35-5 and feel like a god, get Call of Duty.
Yeah, but isn't that also where you gotta deal with the 12-year-olds who fucked your mother?
Yeah, I fucked your mom last night. Listen to my.
Don't even know how.
Listen to me. I'm the generic meme humor. Oh god, fuck you, mute. There's a reason that I'm using my Logitech headset for this instead of gaming. Fucking I went on a full blown rant on one person in Overwatch the last time I did competitive, because he was such a fucking tryhard. Oh, hey, there's Justin. He's back.
While Justin comes back,
he's also muted for some reason.
Maybe he muted himself.
Yeah, that's why.
He's waiting for us to screw up.
Got cucked by my Wi-Fi. Okay. But yeah, there's so much.
Yeah.
There's really so much for this Battlefield that normally I don't buy it day one, and this is one I will be buying day one, and that's so fucking fantastic to actually see me dive back into. From somebody that went from Battlefield 1, like, you can look back at some of our old kill comps, like, when we did those on the channel.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love trolling with the dynamite in fucking Battlefield 1.
Yeah.
That was my go-to thing, like, oh, fuck you. Oh, I just blew myself up too,
I mean, I'm loving these last few points here. The squad gameplay stuff.
The squad gameplay feels like an actual, what you would learn in like basic, what you would learn as a actual unit. So that's something that's really unique.
I might need this in my life.
I like what they did with even Call of Duty World War II. They showed us a little history, especially with divisions, because like in previous Call of Duty games, we didn't see division classes and stuff like to give us a little history. So I'm hoping they do that, like maybe implement certain divisions like in actual like wartime like we had.
Yeah, that's one thing that I really do like about that, but at the same time, like with World War II, my issue was there's so much, backstory to the divisions, but yet some of their weaponry doesn't make sense because
I can need more Springfields.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong there, but like a lot of their weaponry is
can never have too many snipers.
A lot of their weaponry didn't fit like their theme, their actual class and everything. So I was like, okay, well, you're doing like a historical representation here. You're also doing it a disservice.
Oh yeah. I mean, at the same, I don't know how to feel about like in total about Battlefield 5 because we just got Call of Duty World War II. But then again, it's Battlefield 5, and there's more to detail with a Battlefield game in general. So I'm actually really excited, but at the same time, I'm not too hyped. I'm not expecting too much, but like at the same time, like I know they're introducing, World War II tanks, and honestly, my favorite wartime period is World War II, like with Tiger tanks, with Shermans and stuff. So I'm actually really hyped about the whole tank aspect about it.
You got a little Boston breaking out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like with that, I'm not really a vehicle guy in game. I'm more of like a squad rush guy. So the vehicles don't really bother me in this. Definitely.
I feel bad. I'm like a sniper type of guy.
Exactly. Like
they'll probably give you fucking tank penetration bullets anyway. So
yeah. Like,
ooh.
They did that in Battlefield 1. So
yeah. So for me, I absolutely fucking suck at flying the plane.
I do too. I don't understand how you fly a plane in any Battlefield game. I'm just like, I'm gonna get killed anyways by the back.
Would you understand how to fly a plane in real life?
I mean, flying a plane in real life to me seems like it would be a lot easier than flying in a fucking Battlefield.
I mean,
that's usually pretty true, but
I can fly a plane in the game. I just can't do the combat with a plane in a game.
I usually die like 5 seconds after I launch.
That's why I just kamikaze.
Mm-hmm.
I need to try that then.
I literally just lift up. I'm like, oh, is there an enemy nearby? Cool.
And then someone hits you with a heat-seeking rocket, and you're like,
fuck!
Got to put my smokes.
That's odd that I might actually be better than you guys at something.
I mean, you probably will be, because you have a lot more combat experience. I don't know how to
feel about this.
You have a lot more combat experience than I do, and I got booted out of basic.
Yeah, I guess at least I made it through basic, but I still never got deployed or nothing.
They booted me out because they found out I was bipolar. They're like, yeah, we can't have you.
Weird.
But you pop Prozac like fucking candy.
I mean, in a sense, it makes sense. I mean, if like they don't want to take the risk if you're bipolar.
They didn't.
Like,
they didn't want the risk.
You have a gun.
Exactly. I get it, but it's just a weird one.
Mm-hmm.
No rifles for the David.
No, I mean, I have my own, so.
But you can have them in game though.
I can have them in game, and I can have them in real life, but I can't be deployed and defend the country with them.
Shame on me.
It was one of the weirdest things. But I'm like, the funny thing is the platoon that I would have been in with my buddy, I literally dodged a bullet, or should I say an IED. So I might not have been here today if I would have been deployed.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
That's a thing.
So I think we have David here right now on this podcast.
Yeah.
Rather here than in the sands any day.
Yeah.
Because it'd probably be Thurman. No.
Thurman hosting a podcast. Can you imagine?
Be like, alright guys, let's do this podcast.
Alright guys, the top 10 reasons why Black Clover is GOAT.
Oh God.
Sorry,
You'll have
Thurman.
Swan be like, I don't know how to feel about this or
I
function.
don't know what to think.
So Thurman, we're going to rant about this fucking Thundercat shit.
All I have to say is that I told you guys.
What?
No one believed me. I told you we were the dark age of cartoons. I told you that Cartoon Network wouldn't redeem itself, and no one believed me.
Like
Nobody said anything about Thundercats.
Their Cartoon Network right now is just in a state where they think rebooting old childhood stuff is going to get them views, and it's just how our style of copy and paste for the title on it. It's just sad at this point. So all it is just money, 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 and no heart in anything. So and kids will eat it up because they're kids.
See,
So
that's where I gotta disagree a little bit, Thurman. Like
Put the Chitara one up.
Like the demographic that I'm actually seeing this being, more relevant to is the stoners, about my age and your age, because they'll sit there and they'll laugh at dick jokes, they'll laugh at fart
People who
jokes.
liked Teen Titans Go.
And the sad part is my demographic cares more about Teen Titans Go than the kids that it's targeted at. Yet somehow it still stays relevant because with the whole we can exist off of meme humor, that's sadly something that actually works for them. Like they, from Bubbles twerking in the Powerpuff Girls reboot to the famous gif of fucking Cyborg beating his meat literally to fucking Raven's legs, shit like that. It exists solely off of fucking memes. And look at what we got the day they announced this fucking Thundercats. Is we got a whole plethora of fucking memes. Like we have a Hunter x Hunter one, we have a Berserk one, we have a animated
Before feminism, after feminism.
that one too. That's on the server. We have.
I saw one with a more classic style Lion-O with the head of the new one.
Yep, I saw that one. I saw somebody that animated into the hi guys, Lion-O here with a brand new Thundercats. Thunder, and he's disemboweled. And then it just cuts to the outro of the original Thundercats. I'm like, yes. Fuck this new. But my issue.
How do they even plan on going through any kind of story with it?
Adventure of the Week.
Well, I mean, that's kind of how it was beforehand, though. But they still had an overarching story that was actually kind of serious, wasn't it not?
It was, and so was the 2011 reboot. It had a serious story, and
won't be able to do that with this artwork.
They won't.
Nobody will take them seriously.
Exactly. Like Man Bun.
Don't.
Like the Man Bun dude. I'm just gonna call him Man Bun because I don't remember his fucking name. Yeah, fuck that dude.
That was Justin.
Yeah, fuck that dude.
Justin was a Man Bun dude.
Oh no.
No, Justin is as anti-Man Bun as I am. Like that guy there says he's doing this as
you don't have hair.
I have hair. It's just blue. He says he's doing this as a faithful representation. I'm calling bullshit. You can't do a faithful representation of Thundercat.
With a man bun, okay?
Well, not even just with a man bun. With this art style, Thundercats was a serious cartoon. It had dark tones, it had light tones. But it still took itself seriously. You cannot take yourself seriously with meme humor. And all I've seen from the clips of this is literally them trying to replicate what they got with Teen Titans Go, with the new Powerpuff Girls, what they got with Clarence, what they got with Steven Universe. But even fucking Steven Universe takes itself more seriously than this shit. Even shit
Steven Universe wasn't even Steven Universe actually isn't it's a new cartoon that actually takes itself seriously. Stuff like Regular Show, Amazing World of Gumball. Hell, even Amazing World of Gumball takes itself seriously, and it doesn't even take itself seriously as a comedy show.
Right, it breaks its own. It breaks its own fourth wall. At the same time, it's still giving a meaningful story. It's still giving a meaningful plot point. It's giving that essence of there's passion in this. This isn't just a paycheck. It comes down to that same argument over and over and over again here.
The supporting characters have more fucking quality than anything that the fucking Cartoon Network reboots have done. like like stuff like fucking
Cue the greatest of all time, darling in the Franks support cast.
Regular shows, Steven Universe, hell, even Adventure Time. I don't even like Adventure Time that much, but Adventure Time, like all these shows take itself seriously and have done something at least good enough to differentiate itself in cartoons. But all these shitty reboots that are relying on meme humor and these Adventure of the Week with literally no heart put into it. It's just,
well, I mean, Adventure of the Week's not necessarily the bad thing, though. Here, the bad thing is trying to.
It's not. The Adventure of the Week thing is something that even. The Adventure of the Week thing is something that even, you know, stuff like fucking.
Hey there, everyone! My name's Lion-O, and I'm the star of a new show called Thunder.
Well, just go with the original Thundercats here. They did an Adventure of the Week type, for their shows and everything, for their shows and all that, and it didn't work out bad. It worked out fine.
Yeah, there's.
Because we'll give you, here's a bit of the story. Oh, we need to have a little bit of a filler thing, but we can fit that in and still make it work with our storyline here.
Exactly. Like, we have so many series that do the Adventure of the Week that actually succeed really well. I mean, even Rick and Morty is technically an Adventure of the Week.
See, Adventure of the Week isn't the problem. It's how you do it. Adventure of the Week can be good and can be shit.
Exactly.
Like, Amazing Gumball as a good Adventure of the Week. Something like Teen Titans Go is bad Adventure of the Week.
I mean,
I think that's more meme of the week.
Yeah. Really, I'll even give Teen Titans Go a little bit of credit. Like, there are episodes where it tries to take itself seriously, like with the crossover with Young Justice, stuff like that. It still, felt like it had a bit of the Young Justice tone of it in there in that episode when they did the flashback episode to like the original, OG Teen Titans team from the comics when they had that flashback. It still kind of felt like it was in that same tone. So I mean, there are episodes of Teen Titans Go that actually do things properly.
We're not disagreeing with you, Phoenix. Not at all.
Oh no, not at all. It's just like there depends. I really think this is the same thing that goes for like Ruby and pretty much any multi-person team project like this that has so many different hands in the cookie jar. Like, it depends on who's doing that episode.
I wonder how many of those people wash their hands before sticking their hands in the cookie jar.
Well, I mean, 99% of those that do shit for Teen Titans Go don't, obviously, because everything that but a few select episodes are utter garbage.
Yep.
But it's just like, you come down to passion versus paycheck in every aspect of life. And this is clearly a cash grab. This is clearly like, we want to keep the license for Thundercats because it's expiring. So we need to do a new Thundercats. Or it goes back to whoever, had it before, Cartoon Network did. So it's just like, we want to keep this, we want to capitalize on this, let's do it CalArt style. And the reason they do CalArt style is because it's so simplistic that they can just literally, we have basic skeletal frames, cool, clunk, 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 okay, we put fucking ears on them when we made them furries, great, we're good.
Fucking dumb, man. It's like, you can tell they don't give a fuck anymore. It's all about money now.
It really is. Like, and there was a time that Cartoon Network, cared about itself, and we saw a actual really good Thundercats reboot in 2011. And Noble, I'm sure you can relate to this one because you and I are going to be doing a classic review of like OG Thundercats and then reboot Thundercats. And now maybe we'll even involve this one, like go to the pilot. Oh yeah. God. Like there's that 2011 one succeeded very well in views and everything. But what it came down to is the same thing that a lot of the things came down to in the post CN Real but still pre Teen Titans Go era bullshit. That little blurb of time in like 2011 to 2013 where we had actual shows that still had passion but still weren't utter cash grabs but still weren't completely new. Because we had like the Beware the Batman, we had the Green Lantern, animated series, we had all that DC shit, like fucking Young Justice, stuff like that in there. We had that 2011 reboot, which actually had, a real story, real characters, and did well, but what got it canceled was the same thing that got Teen Titans a lot of time, versus the Young Justice getting canceled, versus, the Green Lantern series getting canceled. All of that in that DC Real shit, or whatever they called it, they got canceled because of toy sales. Because Bandai saw that toys weren't getting sold, therefore we don't want to put any money in it. And then their backup to CN's backup to all of their toy sales, or their backing money at that time, was Lego, because of Ninjago and because of Legends of Chima and all that shit. And when they pulled their money out of the channel, they're like, well, fuck. What can we do? Cal Arts. And that's literally why all those good shows that we had, for that small period of time got canceled, is because toy sales. And that's the pettiest reason to cancel shit. You had more viewers than you could ever imagine on some of these shows. It just wasn't your target demographic. Who cares about target demo if you're getting in multi-million views? My generation and generations, before that, were actually viewing stuff like the Thundercats reboot, the Young Justice, stuff like that, because it was actual, like, oh, this feels like a cartoon from when I was a kid, versus, oh, cringy, kill me.
It's just, at this point, they just don't really care anymore. It's nothing more we can really say here. It's just,
Cartoon Network's pretty much dead.
All of them are, to be honest.
We do have a few good cartoons that could be coming to, like, Cartoon Network, most notably, like, Infinity Train. But, sadly, what we're going to see is a lot of, the good shows drifting to streaming platforms, because they can have more creative freedom and not have to worry about, did my action figure of main character number 1 sell X number of units? Or did my actual, viewership come from the target demographic versus outside demographics? Or am I at risk for being canceled? Oh shit, I need to put in more fart jokes to keep this afloat. And with platforms like Netflix and with fucking Hulu, shit like that, they don't give a shit about what the actual demographic is, as long as they're pulling in views. Did your, actual series get, enough views to warrant a season 2? Great, here you go, season 2. It didn't? Oh, well, you can try again. Like, look at the recent Bionicle series. Like, it didn't do supremely well on Netflix, but it's still got, I think, 2 seasons. BoJack Horseman got denied multiple times, and then Netflix was like, cool, we got it. Like, stuff like that is what makes, the streaming platforms really, really great, because we have the person actually putting their passion into it and being able to be completely creative and free with it, versus, oh, you have to abide by my rules, you are in this time slot, you have to have this language filter, you have to have this content filter. You can't do this, or this, but you can do all of this that has nothing to do with the actual product itself.
Oh wow, sounds like Facebook.
Right? Like, oh, you can't post that meme. Oh, you're in a 30-day ban. Great. Well, thanks, Zuck. Oh, I'm banned for something I didn't post on my fucking birthday? Great.
And now we're taken down from YouTube.
Does Zuck have influence over the YouTubes? Fuck.
That would probably be the worst thing that could ever happen to us.
Right? Zuck doesn't like me.
We make jokes about him on the daily.
Exactly. Zuck doesn't like me.
Actually, it's a surprise he hasn't, found our chat room on Facebook.
I'm sure he doesn't give a shit at this point. He's got more money than God.
Oh, they're making fun of me. No, let them go this time.
I'll let them go this time. I'm not Lizard Man. But, Thurman, here's one for you. And this is a, right under the Stanley article that really doesn't need to be discussed at this point because it's been covered by multiple channels. This is a data mining from BlazBlue cross tag. If you want to hop in there.
Let me see.
Right above the X-Men mutant killing sentinels get an upgrade by Forge. And right below Stanley suing POW Entertainment.
Is it on the
topic
stream
list.
or
Topic list?
Oh, okay. Let me see.
You're more the BlazBlue guy than I.
I think he's more the BlazBlue guy than anybody.
Right? Like I am legitimately shocked that our rant got that many views.
Honestly, I didn't think it would get like 200. That's kind of amazing. Topics. Find it. Oh, here we go. Topics. So you said above the
Forge article from CBR. So scroll past the Deadpool 2 bit. Scroll past X-Men's mutant killing by Sentinel thing, and then there's one right here for potential Senra Kagura characters being guests. Wrong link. Okay. There we go. I just wanted to know the actual proper link in case UnityBot didn't fucking post it.
Solos, by the way.
Deadpool 2 gay superhero romance.
Keep scrolling up. Like 2 more.
Oh, here is this it?
Yeah,
You'll
see it.
Announcer reveals.
Yeah, it's a thing that would have gotten taken off Steam like, a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so they're thinking of adding Senra Kagura characters. That's the rumor, right?
Yep.
So, so I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if Senra Kagura is a Arc System title. I think that's a.
Yeah. That's definitely an issue here because I think they would come down to licensing, but this seems to be simply because of the data mine, they're an unused asset in there.
Well, the biggest issue here is the fact that if they add these 2 characters, that's another fuck you to RWBY fandom because
exactly
RWBY only has 4 characters, and if they essentially just fuck Rooster Teeth in the ass and say fuck you, we're adding 2 guest characters from another series, while your series only gets 4 characters in it, while the rest of the series get like at least like 10, that's fucked up.
Exactly. Like there is so much issue with how they're handling this game that I can't even begin to fathom, once this launches and if we don't get any more RWBY characters, how Rooster Teeth will handle themselves going forward. I don't really foresee them working with people like Arc Systems again. But then again, I could be completely jaded here as a RWBY fan, as just be like, oh shit, they just happy to get their characters out there into other products. That could be a thing. Like, I don't know what goes.
I mean, it could be. I don't see why not. I don't see why Rooster Teeth would allow this type of behavior to happen because this is very unprofessional.
It is extremely unprofessional.
Especially if this is actually true, this is actually legit, where they are putting in 2 characters from another series, while one character who's got in the game day 1 only gets 4 characters when there's other characters that they could have put from the series. That is very disrespectful. And if I was a developer, I would be very offended by that because it's like, wait a minute, so you're just
Swanee had to drop. Bye, Swanee.
Bye. Because so you're basically saying that you're only gonna give my characters 4 people while you're gonna add extras. That's just disrespectful. That'd be disrespectful to me, in my opinion.
Exactly. I don't know if Miles and Carrie don't give a shit, or if it's more, they're more happy to see them out there. I don't know if it's a lot of like, okay, is this to test the waters for, you know, future crossovers? Is this to, you know, see how they'll interact in the future? Is what is really going on here? Because as transparent as Rooster Teeth can be, sometimes they don't really talk a lot about their inside deals for companies and shit. I mean, they're transparent with their fans for pretty much everything, aside from, you know, okay, this is what's going on down the road. Like, for example, on the Achievement Hunter end, because I'm more of an Achievement Hunter guy than a Rooster Teeth proper guy. Like, they just casually throw around, we're working on this ghost hunting show, or we're working on, you know, we have a literal $100 hole in our ceiling where we actually threw a dildo up there. You know, they're completely transparent to that regard, but, you know, when they were working on, like, deals with, like, setting up, you know, all of this, they were like, I want to talk about this project I'm working on, but I can't talk about it right now because there's not enough info out there. There's not enough. But I want to talk about it. You know, there's moments like that, and as somebody that doesn't watch a lot of Rooster Teeth proper content, I don't know if, you know, Miles and them have talked about it. I don't know if, you know, Bernie's talked about it, being the COO of Rooster Teeth. I don't know if there's a lot of that bit going on, but I do know that there's been, like, casual mentions because Lindsay's part of Achievement Hunter. Like, yeah, I did voice lines for it. You know, it was a really humbling experience. So I work with a gaming company. You know, the professional face. I don't know what went on behind scenes. That's the thing. Like, if there's more to it,
like how we talked about in the rant video, they're probably doing hush hush right now, only because of the fact that to keep it professional. But I wouldn't be surprised if they just stopped, if they didn't work with Arc System work again, because this is honestly ridiculous. I wouldn't expect this type of behavior from Arc System Works, to be honest.
I would expect this more from, like, a Capcom or a fucking, you know, even a Namco Bandai. I would expect this from them because they're like, oh yeah, we got enough money, fuck you. Arc System Works really doesn't have that much of a foothold in the fighting game market, aside from, you know, being a niche game for most people. You know, as much of a fan base as it has, it doesn't have anywhere near, like, your Tekkens or your Soul Calibers or your fucking, you know, your Street Fighters and all that.
The only really leg they stand on per se in the fighting game community is Guilty Gear, because Guilty Gear is an extremely popular series in America.
Yeah.
So, like, Blaze Blue isn't necessarily like a game. It's popular in America, but it's more popular in Japan because it's more catered to, you know, anime style. Guilty Gear isn't really very an anime fighter. So that's the thing with that is.
Yeah, it'll be interesting come June 5th when the game launches, and you and I both have it pre-ordered, Thurman. To actually see, you know, what their path will be. Is it going to be more of DLC wise? Is it going to follow what we already know? Most of the season pass, I'm assuming, is what they're calling it. We already know most of that, but there's still a few characters that haven't been revealed to my knowledge, unless they were revealed in their last live stream, which completely kept crashing for me, so I just dropped out of it. So there's that. I know they revealed, like, Blake and Yang's you know, character, you know, moves and shit, like their supers and all that, or whatever they call them there. You know.
So if they do try to if they do somehow add these characters, honestly, it'd be honestly a slap in the face to Guilty Gear fandom too, because I heard the developer for Guilty Gear say he didn't want to have, like, any Guilty Gear characters in the game. I don't know why.
I think it was more the fact that the Guilty Gear characters and the fucking BlazBlue characters, he wants to keep them, you know, as two separate entities. Aside from, you know, the obvious reasons, I think it's because they're treated as two completely different franchises. And that he wants to keep it that way, simply, you know, out of respect for the fans of each series. Because a lot of people are either fans of one or the other. And that's actually quite sad, but at the same time, it's, understandable. I'm not a big Street Fighter guy, but I respect what it's done. But I don't, like the mechanics in it as well as I do, say, my Tekkens or my fucking Mortal Kombat, shit like that. And I think it's more of the Guilty Gear's fans like them because of how it functions versus how BlazBlue functions as a whole. And you see that a lot in, fighting games, and you also see it a lot in shooters, preferring one over the other. So it's just like, meh. Okay, I think I have all the articles that I've talked about so far in the description and up in case they come down. There's two other things that we need to touch on really briefly. Justin, I know you're a Paladins guy. Inside the topics list, did you see the whole Paladin strike using Overwatch art?
No, I didn't really see that.
Yeah.
I mean, what's up with that?
It's the mobile game basically utilized a screen cap of like a Lijiang Tower. You see it blurred out and basically a blatant like covered up piece of the artwork from their Lijiang Tower, and Hi-Rez basically came to like, yeah, it's not us, it's the oversight of the overseas company Hi-Rez put this in charge of. Yeah, we'll get on it. Just basically deflecting blame. Even if it is your offshoot, you got to keep an eye on that because it's still utilizing your product's name, kind of thing. It's just like, what the fuck, it's already bad enough the Paladins consistently been called like an Overwatch ripoff, but to rip off actual promo art in their mobile version, it's just like now they have even more actual valid fuel for the fire.
Yeah, I mean, I played the Paladin Strike game. It was okay, but I do believe they have someone else marketing the mobile, so
they do.
I wouldn't blame them for that, but seriously, you need to take care of that shit.
Exactly. It's just like, okay, I agree that because it's a different company, the blame should be on them, but it's also on you for letting them utilize your IP. Because whenever you go into that kind of business, you have to protect your IP above all else. If that company's, asset stealing from other games, you're like, no, fuck you. Take that down, redo it, do it properly, utilize our artwork, not theirs. We're already got enough heat on our ass saying we're a clone, fuck off, kind of thing. But
I don't know. I don't even know why they decided to go in the mobile market. I mean, this was during the time when they weren't out of their beta yet for the game, but they were close at it. So I was questioning the whole concept behind Paladin Strike, like, why?
I think the Paladin Strike was their way of like, okay, well, we see Fortnite on mobile now.
Yeah, but it's not, I mean, yeah, I get it, but it's, yeah, I think I know where you're coming from based on popularity. But Paladin Strike is a totally different game. It's nothing compared to Paladins. It's like a top-down, kind of like Dota, but more simplistic.
Yeah,
that's how I played it.
It's essentially Vainglory.
Yeah.
So I was like, I see why they did. They're like capitalizing on that mobile market. They're capitalizing on the console game shifting to the mobile market as well. Because you saw it with Fortnite, you see it with a couple other games trying to make mobile ports. I mean, hell, even Elder Scrolls put their card game on there. So
yeah,
I mean,
I didn't bother with that.
I'm playing it right now, seeing if I like it. It's just fucking Hearthstone, really, with Elder Scrolls lore versus World of Warcraft lore. But
I could never get into card games unless it was like MTG. Then
yeah,
maybe.
Magic for me, Yu-Gi-Oh, stuff like that.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Stuff like that. And once they brought in the XYZ monsters, I'm like, yeah, I'm out. Fuck it, I retire.
Oh yeah.
I still play like the Duel Links on phone, occasionally, but it's just like,
I'm still pissed about artifacts, so it's just like,
God damn, dude. Like, there's so much in both of those. So it's like, what the fuck are they even doing at this point?
Yeah, I know. I was just like,
you used to be the Planeswalker. Now you have a Planeswalker card. Like, there's so much on that I could rant about, but that's not why we're here. And the other one that I actually wanted to bring up, and this is something that really concerns a lot of us here that, deal with conventions and deals with, yeah, I mean, it does suck because you only have the 4 card slots versus, having a full field. There's the actual, like, microtransaction aspect as well there, Phoenix. But this one triggered me. And this is never, as somebody that's ran a business, this is never how you go about running your business. If you see this kind of behavior, and let's face it, a convention is a fucking business. You're there to make money, to keep the convention going. You're there to, interact with fans. You're in there to, deal with that whole PR aspect. And if you're handling PR like this convention did, this Utah Fan X, you're a piece of fucking shit. So there's an author that's been accused of sexually harassing another author here that were both, oh yeah, you're gonna make me fucking turn off my ad blocker, aren't you? So I can edit this up. You're accused of, like, fucking sexually harassing another author, and they're like, you can just stay home aspect. They're like, yeah, you might want to stay home for this one. Like, fuck you. That's not how you approach this at all. You sit there and you fucking, like, okay, he's being accused of sexual harassment. Look into it, investigate it. If you find any validity to it, don't allow this fucking scumbag there, because he's not only going to be interacting with, hundreds of fans. He's not only going to be acting with, other, convention guests, but he's going to be interacting with, potentially young fans. And if he's accused of sexually harassing another author, what's to say he's not going to sexually harass, the fans, the younger fans, and even more, people there on the convention floor. And then he uses the cop-out that you see a lot nowadays, like, I have a daughter, I understand feminism. That's never an appropriate way to, say, yeah, I fucked up, but I understand, how to treat a woman because I have a daughter, or because I have a wife, or because I have a child in general. I know how to interact with humans. If you're accused of something like that, you don't just go in and be like, oh, cop-out article number 1, how do I deflect? How do I deflect? I'll go with the Bill Cosby method. Or I'll go with the Harvey Weinstein method. No. This is something that this convention should be taking very, very seriously, because this can ruin your complete reputation. And at this point, if you're having that kind of, interaction with your fans, like, yeah, leaking a author's emails, leaking, the private emails, like, this is what you're, doing, this is, all this shit. No, you can't be doing that whatsoever. Thurman, the article's in there if you want to weigh in, or Justin. This triggered me, and I don't get triggered about this kind of shit very often, but this here, as a convention goer, pissed me off.
All I can say about this is, this is your mentality as someone who runs a business, and it's just pathetic at this point that you, instead of helping these cosplayers, making sure they're safe, making sure they don't feel uncomfortable, making sure all these, like, the voice actors who don't get sexually assaulted, if your only repercussion is to literally say, I want to stay home for this one, you're a fucking scumbag. Like, point blank. Like, if you should know that, obviously know that if someone who you're hiring or sending to your con is uncomfortable, you do everything in your ability to prevent that person from being uncomfortable, that try to help him prevent all of these situations to where your voice actors, your cosplayers, male or female, can be comfortable, so that way the con or convention can essentially stay afloat, go over smoothly, and all the other stuff. But this type of business decision and type of behavior from someone who's like a head of a company, head of a con, is just unacceptable and very unprofessional, especially towards all the hardworking voice actors and hardworking cosplayers out there who want to go to these cons, who want to see their fans, who want to interact and all the other stuff because they enjoy doing this. But why would they go if they're not going to be protected from sexual assault?
Yeah, it's really unfortunate that we live in a society that actually has to deal with this shit consistently. And I think Justin just got cucked again by his Wi-Fi. But you know, this thing here, I've never been more appalled as somebody that's run a business and somebody that's actually, you know, as a cosplayer, as somebody that actually goes through all of these conventions. Like, okay, I feel safe here, or I don't feel safe here. You know, there was times even at Grand Rapids Comic Con I felt like, you know, I was being, you know, watched. You know, but I also suffer from anxiety, so I took it up to a lot of that. But at the same time, it's just like you're in a room with hundreds of thousands of people, depending on the size of your con, and you're allowing somebody who has a known history of, you know, sexual harassment, or letting somebody in there that has not only harassed one of your guests personally, but has also, you know, contributed to your entire demeanor being, oh, yeah, sit this one out. Now you're dealing with the repercussions because people like Lindsay Jones, Aaron Zach, you know, Ruby's and Blake's, you know, voice actresses here are withdrawing from your con. As of right now, I don't know if anybody else is withdrawn from the Salt Lake Con, the FanX Salt Lake, and the article that's detailing all this will be linked in the description as well. Like, this here is far too common now, especially in these big, you know, conventions, that, like, we're dealing with all sorts of this shit coming to light. We're dealing with, like, okay, we know there's, you know, a lot of, you know, this kind of stuff going down. But you can't handle it with, like, sit this one out. You gotta handle this professionally. You gotta handle this like, okay, I've got a complaint here. I need to investigate it. Is there validity to it? Yes. If so, ban that said person that, you know, accusations against from your con. It's not that fucking hard. All it is probably a form. Like, okay, he has this much, you know, he has this here. We found validity to him, you know, sexually harassing this person, and pass it on to other conventions so they can prevent, you know, a potential disaster of, like, making other people either uncomfortable or, you know, fucking, you know, harassing or potentially assaulting, you know, either a fan or, you know, another convention member. You know, there's so much that can be said about this that's just like, but at this point it's just like, I'll let the article speak for itself. If this is true, I don't blame anybody that chooses to withdraw from this fucking convention. Hopefully, you know, this doesn't affect, you know, them moving forward. Hopefully they get a new president or whatever this actually leads to. Because obviously this person doesn't know how to handle anything, you know, somewhat sensitive or at all, you know, humane. Because if you're going to be a piece of shit about something like that, you don't deserve to be in charge of something that affects the lives of so many people. You know, and let's face it, a convention can, you know, affect the lives of those there if something were to happen. And God forbid anything does. But yeah, I think we can just about wrap this up. Noble, I know you wanted to screen share with me about the artwork that you're working on. So thank you for those who tuned in.
What?
Hey. But we're going to be ending the stream, letting this archive. So again, thank you. Hopefully, you know, in the next couple weeks, you'll see a lot better audio quality. You'll see a lot better video quality as well down the road. And you'll be seeing, you know, another death battle or chaos battle, as we call them, in the next couple weeks as well. Hopefully this weekend it'll be up. That's the goal here. I believe it will be a Thurman versus Red one. I'm not entirely sure at this moment. I know Noble and I will be doing one because I had joked about doing one for 100 subs, and now I gotta actually suck it up and do it.
Mm-hmm.
I had pictured that being a couple months down the road, and I'm still humbled by seeing that 101. So again, thank you, and until next time, peace.
Later.